Can I substitute Yorkshire alternatives?
No.
No.
Hello, good evening, and welcome tonight, chaps, to Angry Welshman Productions. Come on, Train Sim. Right, we're in. Tonight, I am joined by Sam of Blastpipe Productions.
Hey up.
And Tom of DarkDJProductions.
Good evening, everybody.
And we are at Swansea on the South Wales Coastal Railway, or South Wales Coastal Line, which is also merged with the Welsh Marches line by Bossman Games. And tonight we're going to be driving the upcoming Great Western Cathedral class, 462 Pacific. So for those of you who may have never seen this engine before, it was a proposed design of the Great Western from Frederick Hawksworth of the Great Western. Unfortunately, it reached the design board and then it was scrapped, probably because of the post-war, austerity and cuts and rationing of materials. Basically, another express engine was not really what they wanted in 1946, but it was penciled to be a pretty decent loco. And Chris of Caledonia Works has done an absolutely magnificent job of bringing it to life in Train Sim. And tonight, I think you probably all know that myself, Tom, Andy of Steaming Westward Productions, Oliver Pocock and Chris of EpicBanastard Productions, we all clubbed together to commission this engine for Train Sim. So basically we funded the initial expenditure for Chris to get him working on this project. And it's basically, it's given us 1 month of early access before he releases it to the public. Tom has a whole load of funky facts for you, which we'll start talking about during the live stream. Mm-hmm. Just conscious of the time, it's 9:58. Those of you who are watching, you may have seen in the news today in the United Kingdom that the Prince Consort, the Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, today passed away in his sleep during the night, I believe it was. He'd been unwell for some time, and today he passed away after 79 years as the husband of the Queen?
Something like that.
70-something.
70-something years as the Prince Consort. And so as a fitting tribute, I think, before we do get started with this live stream, we're going to have a 20-30 second of not silence, because our engine is going to make some noise.
But we're going to have a respectful moment of silence while the engine does its what's the word for it? It's
whistle.
Simmering.
It's whistling, but it's like an honour. It's like a standing, like an ovation, I guess.
So this is for Prince Philip. There we go, chaps. So, it is 10 o'clock in game. Sam, you going to drive or am I?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll start off firing. You can drive to start with, and we'll see how it goes.
Alright.
Swap over halfway or something, or...
I'm just thinking because this first section to Newport is flat.
Right, well, you can drive on the flat, can't you? So we're sorted.
Funny!
You are funny, Sam. You are funny.
We've also made a vow, haven't we, tonight, boys? We're
no swearing.
No swearing tonight. So basically, every time if one of us accidentally swears, we get murdered.
We have to put a pound in the jar.
Oh, not again.
Okay then, chaps. Let's get going. So we'll cylinder cocks are opened.
I just thought what I can be for this journey, because this is a modern day mainline-ish run. I can be traction inspector tonight.
Oh, there you go. So you have a footplate roll after all.
Hey! I just sit there and go, right, there's a signal coming up. Right, there's a curve coming up. Right, anyone want a cup of tea?
A cup of tea, that'll do for me.
I've got Copperberg, I'll be fine. Oh wait, I shouldn't be drinking on the footplate.
No, you shouldn't be drinking on the footplate, Mr. Traction Inspector.
That's alright, I'm just inspecting the traction. Yes, everything looks good. It looks like a train. Excellent.
Yep, job done.
Yeah.
Why does this footplate have two regulators?
does it.
Listen to the oomph of the cathedral.
Is this a double chimney one you've got?
Yeah, double chimney. Should probably explain as well. This is 8012 Llandaff Cathedral, and she
Indeed.
is preserved. In
No, she isn't.
Well, in my world, she is.
We can just say it was. We can just say it's like Bristol Cathedral dressed up as Llandaff. That'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be fine.
I just wanted a Welsh cathedral for the live stream. That's all.
Could have used St David Cathedral. That's preserved in the universe.
Oh, yeah, I could have.
Doesn't matter. That would have made David Bolton really, really happy if he'd done that. So it's probably a good job. King Edward is asking, is this loco light enough for the boot? No, but who cares? It's fictional.
Well, Kings did work to Swansea.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it is light enough then.
I'm pretty sure Kings worked to Swansea because they handled the South Wales Pullman.
Oh yeah. Well, I suppose light isn't really the word for it, is it? It's more because I mean this is a pretty heavy, hefty machine. I think
it's the axle loading, isn't it?
Well, actually, I think these would have had a better axle loading anyway because they got an extra axle carrying some of the weight.
Oh, that's it. With that extra trailing set of wheels, you probably would find this all right.
Yeah, more than likely. In the preservation era, who really cares anyway? It's all for fun. Big thumbs up. Let's see.
So we're just heading down a slight gradient out of Swansea.
Ah, that explains why we're picking up speed.
Llandaff Cathedral is indeed in Cardiff. Someone's asking, is Llandaff Cathedral on this route? Yes,
it is. It's not on the route, but it is on this train sim route. But it is.
It's in Cardiff.
Yeah.
It's funny actually. You could have used Newport Cathedral or Swansea Cathedral.
Could have, yeah.
But no, what you're using actually, Llandaff Cathedral was the. We chose this one as the one that actually went down to the southern region for the 1948 exchange trials.
Ah.
Done pretty well in the west of England.
So we've got a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit up until Landor, which is the depot just outside of Swansea, which is coming up on the left. I'm on the fireman's side just for a minute to have a look.
Yeah, the nice thing about being in a Great Western loco is that you can actually see the hood.
Yeah.
The hood?
The hood.
You know, Liam heads up this
Oh,
road.
I thought you said the hood. I thought you meant what? Like the HMS hood?
Yeah, you can literally see HMS Hood from the cathedral class.
Amazing. Someone's asking what. Oh, hang on, wait. I just got distracted because there's a burger on the side of the track.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I got distracted by that. Sorry. No. Someone has said the sounds have been taken from a king. Well, they're taken from Chris's previous locos because SSS have been moving house, so they haven't had the opportunity to actually like get the new sound set onto this. But I imagine that there will be a new sound set on this in a patch in the future, perhaps, but not on release, I don't think.
Right then, Sam. So you're stoked up, ready for the run?
Yeah, that fire mass should be somewhere around about where we want it.
885. Can you see it all right, Sam?
Yeah, I can see it. When we're on the driver's side, I can see it silhouetted against the cab.
If I move the screen just a bit, how about now? How does that work?
Yeah, it's fine. It's due to the contrast. When you're on, because it's a bit pixely, when you're on the left of the engine, you can't see it because of the sky.
Yeah.
But on the driver's side, you can see it silhouetted against the cab because it's high contrast on it.
So, stops wise, let's have a look. Our first stop is at Port Talbot Parkway, which is in 11.7 miles.
We'll have to go pick up some steel.
I thought we were picking up some enthusiasts.
Lots
Oh
of
no, we're not
Talbot
having any of that rabble on our train.
I'll tell you what, actually, while you two are driving, more importantly, I can help with asking questions if there are any questions in the chat. So if anyone has questions that me, Reese or Sam can answer, then chuck them in and I'll read them out for everyone. Just make sure they're not silly questions, like Sam, are you from Yorkshire? Tom, are you from the south? Reese, are you from Wales? Because those are silly questions and the answer is no to all of them.
Yep.
Here we go. I'll let Reese and Sam take this one because I'll probably answer a couple on the way, but King Edward has asked, What is the difference between a king and a cathedral, except the cathedral being a Pacific and the king being a 460? What are the other differences, Reese or Sam, if you'd like to?
I'm pretty sure that the cylinders and the wheel size are the same, aren't they, as a king?
I think they're more or less the same, yeah.
More or less the same, but the boiler is bigger.
And if you move the camera up to the top, if you press right on for the camera control in a minute, you'll see there's a big difference on this loco than there is to other Great Western locos, and that is the safety valves.
Yep, it has normal ones.
Normal.
Normal.
Well,
It's only because
normal for a Great Western, normal for literally any other loco.
It's mainly because on the original drawing that we used as inspiration for this project, and on the artist's impression, there was no GWR style safety valve, so we went with the safety valve that was chosen, which is essentially the same as a Princess Royal boiler anyway, so that's why that's there. Moving forward, thinking forward from Hawksworth, maybe.
I mean, I did kind of push for the GWR safety valve bonnet because I just thought I really wanted it.
It would have looked great.
It would have looked incredible, but because this was such a monumentally massive machine, it would have twatted every single bridge on the way along the
Reese,
line.
we need to notch down.
Yeah, notching down.
Also, I'm pretty sure the T word is a swear, so Reese, that's £1 into the jar.
Oh, no. Yeah, there you go. I knew I was going to be the first victim.
It's funny that, because I actually swear like a trooper, but I'm actually being really quite calm and restrained, even though I've had a couple of drinks. I should be drinking on the footplate, I know, sorry everyone. We've got more questions coming up.
We are on a bit of a gradient here. So she's romping along. We got, was it 11 or 12 coaches on? The injectors really do work quick.
Yeah, it's flying along that, isn't it?
Yeah, I said this before, that the injectors are a little bit quick. I think maybe they might need adjusting at some point, but they fill the boiler pretty quick, so at least if you're running along, it's kind of more of a slight challenge, I guess. Let's see. I'm looking at questions, sorry.
What was the power classification?
Well, I think essentially it's, in terms of performance, it'd be pretty much on match with a king, except for it'd just be more economical / easier to fire.
Yeah, so it's about an 8p.
Yeah.
Well, I'd argue actually, because of the driving wheel diameter, I'd have actually said maybe 8p 7f. Because I reckon they could have probably deputised for fast freights.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't be any more than an 8p.
Let's see. I know a few people have said about safety valve bonnets, but as we've just explained why that is. But if the boiler was maybe slightly smaller, maybe we could have put one on, or even just like a cut down one, maybe. But I don't know. Okay, so here's one from AWP290. Did you see my question? Yes. No, question, no. How many locomotives were drawn but never built? Well, that's really, we can't really answer that, can we, guys? Because we don't have access to every single drawing office and every single design that was ever drawn up by the drawing office.
Depends on the country as well, but I would imagine that the answer to that would be quite a lot. And similarly, there's quite a lot that were made, and they had a prototype made, and then they went, oh god, this is terrible, and the whole thing was scrapped off. And then there's others where it started off being one design, and it got through testing, and changed into something else.
I always take the Leader as a funny example, because the actual loco that was built looked nothing like the actual design that was authorised by the Southern drawing offices.
Yeah.
The Leader really fascinates me every time I see it.
I mean, I've ordered the KR Models 00 gauge one.
Oh so, yeah, you pre-ordered it, haven't you?
I did indeed. So I'll be getting them. I'll get some pictures and videos of that once it finally arrives, probably sometime next year. But actually, there was something I'm going to say about the cathedral, which is a quite funny anecdote when you think about it, and that's going back to Bullied a bit, which is, how did Bullied manage to get a big express passenger Pacific built during the war, but Hawksworth couldn't get his built? I'd like to think that he was quite bitter about that. All because Bully turned around and said, like, I can just imagine the conversation. People from BR coming, from the Southern coming down and go, "So, Mr. Bully, you appear to be designing a big express passenger locomotive." "Oh, no, this is a mixed traffic steam locomotive." "Is it?"
Yeah, I mean, I dare say that the cathedrals would have probably performed mixed traffic duties better than the Bully Pacifics.
Quite possibly. It depends if it depends on the back pressure onto the and the amount of weight being held on that back axle.
Yeah.
Because it would, I think realistically, it might have needed tweaking a wee bit, because the whole point of the Pacific design was literally to hold a larger firebox, as seen here. But
Yeah.
would that have affected? Then again, I say that, but the Princess Royals aren't really known for slipping that much, and that's what this is essentially based on. So.
It's essentially the Great Western equivalent, isn't it? If you have a look at the two side by side, there's quite a lot of similarities there.
Which surprises me, because of how late it was designed. You'd have thought that it would have been more based on something like a Duchess, especially at the front end.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie, it was never built, it was only designed, so we can only speculate.
I gotta slow down to 35.
No, you haven't, young man.
I
Speed
do.
up, floor it, it'll be fine. No, it'll be fine, floor it.
I'm being serious. I need to slow down, Thomas.
Reese, the inspector's told us it's fine, we don't need to slow down.
Oh, okay. Full ahead.
Full held starboard. Wait, no, that's alright. Let's see. Jordan's Railway Simulator. Hello, Jordan. He's asked what the tractive effort of the cathedral is. When we looked at it, it would be somewhere around the region of 40,500 pounds force. So around the same as a king, maybe slightly more. For ha-ha comparison, my mountain class is 55,000 pounds of force.
What sort of power would we be talking there?
Wait, what? For which one? Cathedral?
Either or.
I would say hench and super chonk. That's the most scientific I can get about this. Oh, we're at Port Talbot.
No, this is Neath.
Yeah.
Oh, it's where?
Neath.
Oh, Neath. Okay. Well, it's a bit beneath me to know where we are. Shut up.
I've got an ex-girlfriend that lives around here.
Awkward subject.
Awkward subject, especially when my wife is looking at me with hatred in her eyes.
Excellent. I hope she smashes your head in. Let's see. Oh,
She would never do. No, don't. No.
I think Mr. Wilson might be in the chat somewhere.
Reese has been incapacitated, but fortunately I'm still plugged into his computer, so we'll be continuing the stream without him.
Excellent. And the traction inspector, I'll just direct you. Right, move the reverser up. What direction's up? I don't know.
I'm just putting the regulator through the roof to use some of this steam, Sam.
Yep.
Now Media Productions has asked, are there variants in the pack that will not have AWS upon release? They don't have AWS technically, they've got ATC, which is the GWR equivalent. There isn't any modern equipment on these either, unfortunately. Oh, and Joe Light Railway says, did we know that number 3801 has returned to Steam in the Australia land? And yes, I did.
That was
I'm
months
pretty sure
ago.
you're happy about that. Yes.
Upside Down World.
In Upside Down World.
Land. Where, funnily enough, one of the collaborators for this project actually comes from. Hello, Oliver, if you're watching. Sorry you couldn't have been here for this stream again.
Have to make an Australian version of this.
Oh yeah, just literally streamline it, and then you'll have an Australian 3801. That'd be fine.
Oh, I'm thinking just stick a big lamp on the front and flip it upside down, and good to go then.
Give it an S160 whistle.
Yeah.
More interesting questions coming up.
For the route that we're doing tonight, we are doing the South Wales Coastal and then the Welsh Marches line. So our stops are Port Talbot, Bridgend, Cardiff, Newport, Pontypool and New Inn. And that's where our water stop is booked for. Where else are we stopping? I can't remember what else I said, Sam.
I don't know where you're stopping. I'm not paying attention. I'm just chucking rock on.
No, that means it's my problem now, isn't it? 'Cause I'm
Mr. Traction Inspector, can you remember where we're stopping? We're just approaching Britain Ferry.
Stopping at a station. There you go. I've done my bit.
There we go. That's really helped my ability to. Oh, Chris is in the chat, chaps.
Oh no.
Hello, Chris. Make a cathedral into Atlantic. Yes.
Oh my
Well, no,
god!
wait.
Actually,
Don't do that. We've got a Saint to do that. Looks at Chris to make the Saint Atlantic.
the Saint Atlantic in Trainson would be beautiful.
Do you know railways of how many cylinders are there? 4.
Doesn't
Doesn't have any.
have a single cylinder.
It's not a turbomotive.
It's just one single LNWR cylinder to make it a compound.
No, it wouldn't be a compound with 1 cylinder though.
Oh,
Yep.
You need at least 2 cylinders to make a compound.
I don't know these things.
Well, this is
Clearly.
what we're here for.
Yep.
You're more likely to get some. Actually, what would have been interesting is like the Paget locomotive had uniflow cylinders. That would have been cool. Which are just weird. I'm not even going to attempt to explain this.
Evan Bradshaw says Lady of Legend had a test run on the Severn Valley Railway today.
Good for her.
I must admit, I would have liked to have gone up there to see her run.
I mean, I saw her at Didcot when she first steamed properly.
Did she actually was in steam?
Yeah, we went up there for I think it was the second weekend.
Oh, nice.
And the funny thing was, though, she was very offbeat back then. And steam was leaking out of every orifice you could see.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you want from a nice new engine, is it?
Well, it's not really a nice new engine, is it, quote unquote? It's just a rebuild, essentially.
Was it a
Mainly
hall it
Hall.
rebuilt from?
It was mainly Hall.
Yeah.
So it's just a hall with new frames, isn't it?
Hall with new frames, bigger wheels, slightly different look, and probably more fans than mainly Hall would have had, I'd imagine.
That's why the reverser was creeping forward.
There
But
you go.
someone didn't lock it.
Someone didn't lock the reverse.
Someone, not naming names here, didn't put the reverser lock on.
Oh yeah, we better mention that there's a reverser lock on this train, haven't we? There you go, we mentioned it. There's a reverser lock on this train, isn't there?
Sam, stop playing with your whistle.
Cheeky. Oh, Anthony says that they kept mainly Hall's frames, they just modified them.
Yeah, they kept
Ah,
the
right.
frames. I think they. What did they use these cylinders from? Something else. Because they cut up one of the Barry 10 locos.
What, for the cylinder block?
Oh, something like that.
Train. Reese Arnold asks, and this is an interesting one because I saw it asked earlier on but didn't catch it. What were some common faults on the cathedrals in the steam days? I'd imagine fuel consumption would have been a thing.
Yep. Especially if it's got the same cylinders and wheels as a King.
I know there was one incident we wrote about where there was an axle sheared off of the bogie of one of them at a low, I think it's at a high or low speed, well, a speed basically. And the main accident that happened with these was Truro Cathedral derailing in 1959, light engine. She was thrown off the line and killed the driver and fireman.
I'm shutting off Steam, Sam.
Right. Well, that's good, because we don't have much.
Dylan Gills asked, they are a volunteer at a 15-inch gauge railway. They're wondering how many 15-inch gauge railways us guys have been to. 15-inch gauge, what size? That's like...
That's Romney, Hove, Dymchurch,
Ravenglass and Romney.
Yeah, well, I've been to Romney twice. I love it there. Brilliant
I've
railway.
been to Ravenglass and Eskdale, and I'm going to do the other one. Was it Cleethorpes Coast Light Railway?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's 15-inch gauge.
I've been to Kirklees Light Railway, which is 15-inch, and Ravenglass and Eskdale. And the only one I know of, I think, in this country that hasn't been mentioned is Bure Valley.
Oh,
Bure Valley,
Bure
maybe,
Valley, yeah.
And I think those 5 are the only ones I know of in this country. There is one in Japan, which has some.
That one has.
yeah.
That one has the other diesel that's been built at Romney, Hove and Dymchurch.
Yeah, it also has the identical clone of Northern Rock and the Americanized version of Northern Rock.
Ew.
I don't know. It kind of suits it in a weird way.
Where are we now, Reese?
Port Talbot Parkway.
Right. So, anybody from Port Talbot, if you want to come and join the train, don't. Not allowed.
Just give up. Don't get on board. We're all first
We
class.
have
They can't afford first class fare. Well, we're going to overshoot, Sam.
Oh.
No, we're not.
Oh.
Oh, actually, Sam, that was a perfect stop.
Well,
Amazing.
if it wasn't shouting emergency at us, I might agree with you.
You know, that's just the way I roll. Right, some obligational selfies.
Well, that was another question. Somebody asked earlier on, are we going to go for the speed record tonight?
Nope.
No.
Good.
Not
Because the
even close.
speed record for the class was 112, which is quite optimistic. I've gone up to 115 in my tests so far, but that was coming down Stainmore, and I derailed at the bottom.
Yeah, I think we'd be lucky to do Latun Willis based on how it's going so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does actually look really good as a mainline runner.
Oh yeah, there's no denying that it's got a presence.
Okay, I might ever so slightly be trespassing to get some of these photos, but meh.
Well, as long as you don't do what that one dude did and nearly get hit by a train while trying to film Tornado.
Oh god.
Mhm.
Wasn't
Do
it
you remember?
Oliver Cromwell?
Oh no, it was Oliver Cromwell, wasn't it? He
And
nearly
then
got hit by
The
a
unit just came
unit.
out of nowhere, just like...
Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. It came on the tractories.
Well, alright.
Trains do not teleport.
Don't they?
Well,
You mean I've got to drive this thing?
Oh no, we can't just teleport all these passengers over to Shrewsbury. Oh.
Let's get some of this vacuum off.
Someone's asked how this would do in a time trial between Exeter and Plymouth with
Well,
12 coaches.
We're
I'd
going to
imagine.
find out, aren't we?
Yeah, because we're gonna. The hope is that we're gonna do a race or a couple of races the day before the releases on Friday the 30th. I think, or maybe one or two. I'm not sure. Depends how we feel.
Are we ready, Traction Inspector?
No, I'm trying to chat someone up on the platform. Give us a sec.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Hey, look, can I have your number? No. Okay, right, good. Let's go. She's
You've been blown off.
I've been unfortunately she has opened the blower and has ejected me out of the chimney, so I suppose I better get back on the footplate and we better leave.
Well,
Goodbye,
we're already moving, so you better start running.
Oh God, wait for me!
Right, Chris says, I wonder how the Cathedral and the Night Owl will compare next to each other.
Well, one of them existed, one
Interesting.
didn't, so
I'm really looking forward to the Night Owl. Incidentally,
Yeah,
for the
man.
people watching the video, or the live stream, whether you're live or not, Chris has started on Monday making the Great Western Night Owl. It's now Friday, and I think he's finished about 80% of the model.
pretty much.
He's got it loaded and in game and textured, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's done the cab yet.
I
Um,
imagine there's a lot of interchangeable parts with some of the other Great Western stuff, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits of modelling a. I suppose that is one of the benefits of modelling the Great Western, though, which is there are quite a few parts that can be changed relatively.
Same sort of thing, isn't it? If you model a loco from the same designer, then you've just got the joy of, like what Bossman Games did. They originally made the Black Fives, and then they went, well, hang on a second, there's 3 or 4 other Stanier engines we can do here without much work.
Objection. They only did the Black Five and the variants of Jubilee. The Royal Scot and Patriot were actually Fowler locos rebuilt by Stanier, so they don't count.
Well, yeah, but even so, cosmetically speaking,
Sam, they do not count.
yeah, but cosmetically they do.
Are we actually going to have a row about Fowler designs now on a Cathedral live stream?
I mean, we could, but no, I suppose we better get back on track.
Let's be honest, Reese, it's a common thing for us. Whenever we stream a loco, we often get sidetracked and talk about something completely different.
Yeah, we do.
We often get the points changed and we go off on another branch line and then we eventually loop back round to the main line and derail somewhere.
Left for Titfield.
Oh, speaking of Titfield, anybody planning on buying any of the, I think it's Rapido Trains are doing the Titfield Thunderbolt version of Lion. Anyone planning on buying that?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah?
I'm not 100% because I've kind of gone off the low gauge. So
Yeah. What gauge do you model now then? Is it gauge 1?
No. I still got all my 00 stuff, but I think I'm going to start a new layout because the layout I got just needs so much work. And it really needs someone who can commit the time to actually figure it out what's wrong with it.
Fair enough.
And I don't really have the time to do it anymore.
Yeah, I need to start mine from scratch. I've got one, but
this is the road I drive every day down
build
to Port Talbot. Just
that's nice, Reese, but I've no idea how much coal or water we have.
96, 97 in the boiler. Oh, you're full. Shut it off.
I'm trying to shut it off. God, the injectors on this thing are just lightning fast.
I can't believe how quick that filled up. Right, I'm going to shove the reg through the roof.
I think what's happened here is that Chris has accidentally put an auto-ejector in this.
Has he?
I'm just making stuff up, but...
Oh, right.
I'm just teasing about the fact how quickly it fills up with water.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, if your swimming pool filled up with water that quickly, it'd be fine.
Oh, I know, right?
But then again, I've got a swimming pool!
And I need to shut the fire road door live as well.
So the next stop, Bridgend, which is in 10.5 miles.
Which is in Wales.
Somewhere in Wales. It would be nice to have AWS, but I'm only saying that because I'm driving on a modern route.
I'd have liked to have had the TPWS, AWS, and a high-intensity headlamp. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris is now blaming us for the injectors. He's saying you asked for the faster injectors.
I didn't ask for faster injectors, actually, mister. I said they were too fast. So, you can't blame me for that one. So if anyone... I'd like this to be on record. If anybody tries to blame me for that, not me.
I'll blame you for it.
No, Chris! Stop it. Oh, I should also point out as well, this, I think the intention, and Chris can probably correct us in the chat, the intention will be that once Gwion looks at Gwion sorts out 2.0, I think this will probably be been built in such a way that it can be backdated to have 2.0 applied to it as an option. I think.
Sam.
Yep.
We're behind the loco.
We are.
I love these views.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, I know, they've locked all the windows, haven't they?
Yep.
Yeah, too many people are getting decapitated.
They're not getting decapitated, Sam. They're getting their head back in, that's all.
One guy lost his head. The whole rest of us have to suffer.
Reese, I think you're getting over your head about this.
I know, right? That was such a cheap shot, Tom. That
was actually
so
awful.
Cheap.
Look, like, we need some entertainment while we're on this journey, because it's like, what? How long is this journey going to take? Like 2 or 3 hours?
A very long time.
Brilliant.
If we do the run without stopping, it's 3 hours 15 minutes.
Whoa! But we've got to stop everywhere. Jeez, then again, that's a lot of time to talk about stuff. Here we go.
Given our competencies as well, let's call that 4 hours.
I mean, you two talk for yourselves. I'm very good at driving, thank you very much.
Yeah, but you're not driving.
I know, I'm just a traction inspector. This sucks. Chris has said all CW DLC both released and announced will have optional patch to include 2.0. At present, everything will be made for 1.4, but patch to have 2.0. That's basically what said. Oh god, here we go. Chris is
triggered. He's asking us to look at the video.
I know. Oh god, are we going to be told off like naughty schoolboys?
Yeah, we're going to get told off now.
Oh
my god!
How serious it is. Oh, my message is still loading. Don't.
Mild crisis.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I see that. That is booty.
Oh my god. That is
for context's sake, Chris has just put a screenshot in of the cafe next to the textured night owl in game.
That night owl looks absolutely great.
Oh my god, he's put it with the tender from the Great Bear.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
That's not the Great Bear tender.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
The thing I'm looking at isn't.
You're looking at the Caledonia Works fin beast.
Oh, you put a separate one in.
Oh, I'm going to say I can't. I just realised I can't. I'm not in the other chat, am I?
You can't see that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I've got to admit, though, It does actually really suit that tender.
It does, doesn't it? King Edward is asking what tenders do the cathedrals come with.
Well, they were designed by Hawksworth, so take a guess.
We'll show you.
They come with a collet one.
Actually, we did mention that in the history, one of them did run with a collet tender for a little while.
I'm just going to put it out there that Reese is very upset about the whole
here we
collet
go.
tender thing.
Oh god, here we go.
Ever since this project started, I pushed for a collet tender to be made with it. I was told to wind my neck in and shut up because I don't know anything. Because I'm stupid.
Look, right, Reese is already triggered enough by the fact there's no AWS, there's no safety valve on it, there's no collet tender. I'm triggered by the fact it hasn't got outside valve gear.
I'm going to reskin a Stania coronation
I
tender
don't
to
even
go
know
with
why.
it.
I don't even know why I put money into this thing. There's no safety valve on it. There's no AWS. There's no collet tender. Why did I even bother?
There's no high intensity headlamp either.
No, my God.
I know.
Chris says when the Night Owl is out, you can pair the collet tender behind the cathedral, and it will be compatible.
There you go. Right, so that means what Reese is now going to say is chop chop then.
Yeah, go on, make a collet tender.
Yeah, you say that, I'll have it done by the end of the stream.
I was
It's
going to
Chris.
say, yeah, this is Chris. He'll have it done before we get to Pontypool.
He'll have a beta test version ready for us by the time we get to Newport. Which is a lot more that can be said for other things, but we'll talk about that another time.
Should we do a little touch of line siding?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, look at that.
Just does this one shot and then goes straight back to the cab and stays there for the rest of the stream.
Yep.
It's not very often that you press, when you press the 4 key.
And it gets you straight on the line side. Yeah, no, normally it
Here we are.
above camera. Yeah, like
I hate that camera so much.
It's a legacy from MSTS.
It is, and I hated it in MSTS, and I hate it in Train Sim.
Yep. The worst thing is if you put line side
Fences or
if you've got
cables
either
or...
side, it prevents the camera from going over there for some strange reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, basically, if you do proper line side scenery, then you're stuck with eternally with the absolutely awful. You can only look down the chimney camera view.
I mean, what I normally do anyway, and Reese probably does it, if you've got your Xbone camera plugged in, your Xbox controller plugged in, just press 4, but then press 8, and then go to line side, and then just pan your camera manually. But it's not the same, really, because you can't pan it as perfectly as the game can.
Yeah.
We're just cresting a bank now, Sam.
The hills are meaningless to me.
Is it HFBC?
Stormy... this is Stormy Bank.
Oh, right, so it's... Oh, well, it's definitely HFBC then.
Most definitely. So, what was it? Oh, I can't remember what I was going to say.
That's good.
Don't worry, we'll wait, we'll wait.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I was going to say something.
It was on the tongue of my tip. How about LMS Princess Rules are better than Cathedral? Run away. Oh wait, I can't run anywhere. I'm on the footplate down.
No, but I support that sentiment.
Oh, okay, that's good. I've got one supporter of that theory then. As much as I love the Cathedral as a type, Princess Royal is better, just because it existed and it's splendid.
Princess Royal is better because it's real. Yeah. Bit like Great Western fans.
Oof.
Ooh. Oh, the amount of people who are going to come out the woodwork now. Oh, I'm Great Western and shut up.
Me engineer
I'm
100
Great Western
says
and don't we know it.
about the Gresley tender.
Uh-oh.
But I already did that. Didn't you see the screenshot? Have a look on the AWP Facebook page.
No,
There is an
stop.
apple green livery with...
I'm sure Chris Rasmussen also put a Raven A2 tender with it.
Did he?
Yeah, during his stream.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Excuse me.
Where has all the water gone?
Boiler's full.
That's not the water I'm worried about.
Tender water.
Oh my god,
dear.
we have used 1,000
You've used
gallons.
1,000 gallons already. Jesus.
Oh my god. Sam,
Yep.
so I've only planned one water stop and that's at Pontypool.
Yeah.
So we've used 1,000 gallons and we haven't really gone very far. So
Yeah.
we still got 44. We'll make it. But then to
Coach,
How far have we
Shrewsbury,
got after that?
yeah.
Do you guys really need as much boiler pressure at the moment? Because you could just close the dampers, stop firing, and let the boiler pressure drop a bit. And then you won't be using so much steam.
We are going downhill, so I'm going to shut off.
Yeah, probably a cool idea. Make sure you close the blower as well.
Yeah, it's alright saying that, Tom, but I don't think we've been at the point of blowing off yet.
Oh, have you not?
No,
So I've got
You
no
have a
audio.
little
so I
bit.
can't tell.
not much though.
Not much.
Not when you've been full reg. And whenever we've injected, it's just wiped it out.
I'm being asked, can I do a 3D version of this live stream with 3D glasses? Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, we'll invest hundreds of thousands of US dollars into it. Just donate to Resicus at Resicus.com. What you done?
Bridge End is coming up.
I mean, it's your silly fault for planning stops with no water in them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had a water stop at Newport or something.
Nah, it's all right. We'll be fine.
We'll
The
be
only-
fine, he says.
The only thing is we've got the Llanfairpwll Bank after Abergavenny,
Famous last words, everybody. Famous last words, everybody.
so we'll get to Pontypool because it's mostly flat until we reach Newport.
Mm.
Then it's
You'll
pretty
have to be
much,
conservative.
we'll have to be quite conservative with our steam, but we're going to need a load of steam to get up past Llanfairpwll.
By the way, I just kind of wanted to address something for the chat, which is why is everybody... I know it's like a funny meme, haha, but everybody seems to be so obsessed with Reese derailing. Let's try and have a time where we actually support Reese in his endeavour to get something to the end of the line without crashing. And it does happen.
Does occasionally.
It happened on the Bahamas stream, and then he tried derailing it at the end, and I had to do an
Yeah.
emergency stop on him.
Did you have to rein him in, did you?
Sam was
Yep.
the representative of Bahamas Loco Society on that day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got to Holyhead, and we were going to Cwmbran train, and Reese decided at that point that it would be a perfect opportunity to derail it. Then I just smashed backspace.
A&WP290 has donated $1.
Oh,
through
thank you. Thank you, A&WP290. $1. Thank you very much, sir.
That will buy Reese. That's one pack. That's $1 back for the couple of hundred that we chucked into the project.
It is. Either that or my next kebab.
Oh, not this again.
I'm not gonna lie, it was literally the kebab I had with that money that everyone donated towards my kebab fund.
Amazing.
It was literally like a £15 kebab.
Whoa!
It was huge. Did you see the picture of it, Tom?
I did, yeah. I remember now. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
looked
god, it was insane.
Was it so good?
It literally took me like 2 days to eat.
Whoa!
Sam, I think I'm about to butter the bread, mate.
What's this?
Are we having sarnies?
Reese is actually driving properly today and not doing any overruns. He could be a real steam driver one day, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, Tom, if it hadn't been shouting emergency at us, I might have agreed with you.
I did not shout emergency that time.
You didn't, but Lahood did. When you went, oh dear, we're approaching grid end.
No, oh, yeah, alright, fine. There's something I do disagree with this game. Is that if you put the brake to the emergency brake position, as far as I'm concerned, that's just dumping the brakes 100%.
Yeah,
Even though, you know, it's called emergency, it's not actually necessarily an emergency stop. Because as soon as you completely come to a standstill, you dump the brakes completely. And that means putting them to the emergency position. But Train Sim goes, error, that's an emergency stop. But it's not.
I think we need to teach Train Simulator a lesson.
we need to teach Train Simulator a lot of lessons.
Yeah, like how to actually be a decent train simulator.
Well, it is. I think it is a decent train sim. It just needs TLC.
It's
Well,
a good game, it just could be a lot better than it is.
If they stopped investing in TS World 2 and tried to make this
There is
game a bit
something
better.
about TS World that they could implement to this game. You know where, like, you have you press 2 and you have the camera that spins around the loco.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
the camera. Yeah.
And then you
yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
a sort of another camera. I can't remember which button it is. I think it's 3.
I think it's 4 or 3.
3 or 4, and you basically have a free roam camera that's still attached to the train.
Yeah, it's soft locked onto. It's like anchored to the train, but you can still move around. You can still move around within the 3D space, but you don't like. It's not like free roam camera. It's more like you're still moving along with the train.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It's reference to the Loco. If they could implement that to this game, to Train Sim, I would say that would be a win, because the number 4 key, it doesn't really serve any positive purpose.
Not
because,
no.
like we said earlier about all the line side fences and stuff.
If it wasn't for that top-down view, it wouldn't be so bad, but...
And because it railroads itself into not going anywhere near lofts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting question. Adam Bridgewater, who I know, that is, I believe, Hectic T. If I donate £5, can I bribe Reese to crash it? No, you can't, Adam. Stop being such a hooligan.
But if you donate £10, I'll crash it.
I was going to say, it's not just me here, it's there's two.
And if you donate £15, I will, I'll do nothing. I'll do nothing at all. Because it'll be Reese getting the money, not me.
Go on, guys, donate whatever you can just to wind Tom up.
You know people will do it now as well, don't you?
Well, the funny thing is I do a stream, I never get any super chats, right? Or hardly ever anyway. But Reese does one and he gets a couple of super chats, and I go, why?
Especially when it's Tom. There you are, look.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
To be fair though, most of the super chats you get, Reese, are literally just people saying, I'll pay you money to crash.
Mostly, yeah.
Which actually,
And then half the time you betray him.
must admit, and kind of degrading.
So
When you think
Alien
about
WP290, thank you very much, sir. You're very kind. $10, thank you. But you've super chatted, but you haven't actually said anything. So you paid $10 to say nothing.
He got a mention. He's already had a mention, but he got another mention. He's actually donated twice. He's donated $11 in total.
He did, yeah. Train Sim guy, it's Dem Socks is in the chat.
Hey!
It's Dem Socks. Hello, Dem Socks.
No, it's these socks.
These socks.
It's the socks. I need to actually have a look at that Paddington route at some point.
Mate, seriously. I mean, I think it does need a fair bit of assets, but it really is worth it.
See, if it's got markers and portals set up properly, it'd be quite nice to do scenes of train coming in and out of Paddington. That'd be nice.
That's the plan. It's still work in progress, but I've basically bullied him into building it as far as Old Oak Common.
Even better.
Which, I mean, you can imagine the scenarios and the rail fan camera going in and out of Paddington. If we got
and
some...
you can have like engine movement from the station to Old Oak as well, and like
well, that's it.
All that sort. Yeah,
he's going to model all the coach sidings and engine shed. I sent him some diagrams of Old Oak Common engine shed.
Oh, amazing!
Anthony,
One with a few death threats for not doing it.
Yeah, I know. I basically said, "Here's some diagrams. Now do it."
Here's some diagrams and proof that I know where you live, and proof of that I know who your family are.
And here's your social security number. I'll tell you what, right? An interesting thing that would be good in Train Sim, actually, to import from Train Sim World, is the ability to walk around as a person.
Yeah.
That would be really nice as a mod, like just... And even just being able to look around your cab, because I know I've seen a mod somewhere that somebody's working on. I think it's sort of French Loco, which is like a 3D camera that is like in the cab, but you can move around freely. That looks brilliant, and that is something that should have been in a game years ago.
But that is an example of how people are now pushing the boundary of what Train Sim can do.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, a couple of super chats.
Holy crap! More money.
Right.
Reese, you did it again. Right, Reese, that super chat's going straight in the swear jar.
Oh god.
What did he say? Don't say the word, just what did he say?
He said the C word. He said Hurlis.
Oh, that's alright, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but
oops,
yeah,
sorry.
No swearing.
I am paying you not to crash. $2.99 from the Trainmaster 15. Oh, it's Australian dollars as well. Thank you very much, sir. You were very kind. And Evan Bradshaw donates £2.50, saying, "I'm lighting up cleaner on the Severn Valley Railway. Do a run on the Severn Valley soon."
No,
We will at some
question.
point. We will do.
we've already done a run on the Severn Valley.
Which one did we do?
We did it with the I
We did
it with
like a-
CPG, didn't I? And you did
Oh,
it with
the flying pig, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right,
we did like
yeah.
a gallery type thing with it, with block running.
That's
Yeah.
right, we did. That was quite cool. That. I would like to do another run on that with the Stania Mogul.
Oh yeah, because do you know why? Then you don't have to drive it.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got an AI to do the job for you.
I actually would like to see that implemented on some other locos. I think it's a cool little feature, especially if you want to do it for, like, for us who do railway series and whatnot. It'd be nice to do if you had locos that you could set up like that you can still blow the whistle on and you can still control certain things, but you can film it like without having to worry about it like stalling or keeping pressure or whatnot most of the time, all that jazz. That'd be really nice.
Something you can film without having to constantly stare at the HUD to make sure you don't muck it up.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, see, now that's what me and Sam are planning for filming some scenes of Over the Hills.
Oh yeah. What, are you going to do Parsec?
We'll use Parsec, and Sam will drive, and then I can film using the Xbox controller.
Mate, that's actually a really good idea.
Only it's not going to be for all of it, because obviously, like, Sam's got a life, he's not going to be there while I'm filming every scene. But when
But if
there's...
you need a little bit of help for certain scenes, you can do that, yeah.
Sam has a job that actually requires going to work.
Yeah, Sam is a bit bitter, ladies and gents. He discovered how many hours I actually do for my job a month.
Put it this way, Reese does about a quarter of the hours that I do.
And he's a bit bitter about that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I work in a convenience store and I have to deal with the general public all the time.
Yeah, you do have my sympathies for that, Tom.
Thank you.
I'm not going to lie, Tom, that is quite a difficult job. And I don't think people do appreciate how difficult it can be.
Oh no, they don't.
I will be honest.
It's not.
I don't think I appreciate it, because you don't realise how much work actually goes into it.
Exactly. And then when you get complaints about stuff, it's like, oh man, but we do all this for you guys. Just please leave us alone to do our job.
It's one of those jobs where it'd be a lot easier if you didn't have any people involved in it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, the amount of times that I've been, like, stocking shelves and people have come up to me and gone, and all 7 on the till. It's like, well, if I didn't put the stock on the shelves, it wouldn't be anything for you to buy.
Yep.
But we haven't really talked much about the cathedral, have we? Apart from at the very beginning. So should we talk a little bit about its history and why it's
Go
actually
through another
okay?
cathedral thing, yeah.
Go on then, Tom. let's have a-
Educate us, Tom. Educate us.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do this without looking at the sheet because I've had to do the voiceover over and over again for my own thing. But basically, let me start from the beginning. So, obviously people know that the cathedral, aka the Hawksworth Pacific, is a fictional design. But it is based in some sort of, reality, because there was a single drawing, a weight diagram, I believe it is, done. And there's been artist impressions and talk about it. Now, us lot, like me, Reese, Andy, all of our little circle of friends, we've talked about this logo a lot. And ever since I had my mountain class commissioned, we've talked about commissioning something like this. And Chris Wilson basically turned around and goes, "Oh, I'll do it." And we were like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." So, I mean, that's not exactly how the conversation went down, but you can tell. So we clubbed together and paid up. We worked out how much it was going to cost to get all the research done and all that lot, and the man hours. We, me, Reese, Andy, Chris Rasmussen, and Oliver Pocock, we all chipped in to help out. Gwion helped as well. He's probably going to moan at me if I don't mention that Gwion helped as well. And we basically said to Chris, "Yeah, can you do this?" And we did all the research and all that. It's taken a little while to do, but essentially what the cathedral is the loft design, as closely as possible to the proposals that were made. Completely fictionally, we came up with a history, which was that 20 of the class were built in 1946 and 1947 at the very end of the Great Western, hence why we had the excuse to put them in Great Western livery. They survived into British Railways. The first 10 had single chimneys, the last 10 had double, but they were all converted to double chimney by 1954. The first batch were named of cathedrals that come along from London towards Exeter and Plymouth. Westminster Cathedral was the first one built, and that was numbered 8000. That was run in unlined Great Western Green on test runs for about a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly the details, but it was basically run as a test bed, and then further batches were built, so they were named. Oh god, I might have to pull up the list, but basically, I'm probably going to miss a few. But you got Westminster Cathedral, Oxford Cathedral, Bristol Cathedral, Exeter Cathedral, Plymouth Cathedral, Truro Cathedral. I'm trying to think what 06 is.
Gloucester, isn't it?
No, Gloucester is 08. Hereford is 07, I think.
Then you get the Welsh ones.
You got the Welsh ones were from 011, which was Brecon. Then you had Birmingham Cathedral, Gloucester Cathedral. You've also had Llandaff Cathedral, if we're driving now, Newport Cathedral, Swansea Cathedral, St David's Cathedral, and then the last 4 of the batch were built and named Great Britain, Dreadnought, Lord of the Isles, and FW Hawksworth CME. Now, the reason we all decided that Hawksworth was going to be named because there was an engine called GJ Churchward. Did Collett have an engine named after him, Reese? Can you remember?
I don't think he did, you know.
I think he should have, though. But we kind of thought that Hawksworth was kind of largely forgotten for his design. So I thought, well, you know, it would be nice if Hawksworth was honoured by having an engine named after him, because he was quite forward-thinking and he never got to fully, you know, do his true potential. So I think us representing this loco, which he technically didn't even want built, and having it named after him is kind of like both a testament and kind of a curse. But essentially, with the cathedral class itself, they were built to alleviate double heading over the South Devon banks, and as you can see here, they were probably used on the maybe not the most high-speed expresses, but perhaps the heavier trains, like that the Kings couldn't manage, maybe because of the, you know, trying to maintain pressure and whatnot in the boiler. So they were built with a larger boiler, larger superheaters, all that lot. And they would have been built for the heaviest trains, I reckon. But as a class, they were basically concentrated on the Great Western Main Line due to their weight. They took part in the exchange trials of 1948, but before that, in 1947, number 8018, yeah, that's it, Lord of the Isles, that one is the one we said broke the speed record of 112 miles an hour for the Great Western, coming down Wellington Bank, the same place where City of Truro allegedly broke 100 miles an hour. Waits for Reese to start foaming at the mouth while I say that. There we go. But they performed in the 1948 trials, and the reason we actually have written that into the history is because we've actually got them in lots of lovely different experimental liveries, like the BR Apple Green with British Railways on the tender, which was actually worn by a Castle class. The experimental Ultramarine Blue, which was worn, I think a King wore Ultramarine. I know a couple of locos definitely wore Ultramarine. And then obviously the slightly more standard BR Express Blue with Early Crest was in there as well. So we thought it'd be nice to have them actually take place on the exchange trials, and so they weren't Mary Sue's. We decided that on the Midland region they were well accepted on the trial because obviously they're basically green Lizzies. On the southern, because we already had like merchant navies down there, which, you know, were a little bit slippy, having a cathedral actually was quite good because they didn't slip as much. But the eastern region suffered the worst because they had an example from the first batch built, which had a single chimney and lower degree superheating, and that one didn't perform as well with the bad coal on the east coast. So they weren't as brilliant as everyone thought they were, and obviously they had the accidents like with the front axle. So they weren't the greatest design of the entire world, but they were, like every other design, flawed in their own small ways, and we wanted to represent that in the history by not saying, oh yes, they were the most fantastic fictional steam locomotives ever built. But they lasted into British Railways days. The only one to have been lost before withdrawal of the class was Truro Cathedral, which, as I mentioned earlier on, was derailed at high speed in the fog by an unexperienced crew while crossing over on the main line between Newton Abbot and Exeter, killing both of them, unfortunately. which is a sad moment, but we wanted one of the cathedrals to actually have a proper major accident. I think there was also a shunting accident somewhere, maybe at Paddington. That's in the history document, I think. But eventually,
sure it was Paddington.
I think it was Paddington, there was a shunting accident. Eventually, though, 6 of the 20 built, 6 ended up being sort of in the era of preservation in our history anyway. Because the thing is that we say all this, you guys out there who buy the product, you can basically make up your own history if you really want to. You could preserve a loco, like for example, you could take, I don't know, 8008 Gloucester Cathedral and have it run as a double chimney loco on your preserved line somewhere. It doesn't really matter. It's all fictional. This is just our envisionment for it, you know? And I like the idea that, I'm sure Reese and Sam will agree, it's nice to get people's creative juices flowing, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing if people actually, you know, make up their own sort of tales and histories of these things.
I do think that's one of the beauties of the cathedral, is that even though we've written our history of it, people can still make their own as well.
Exactly.
Apart from the fact that we've given the names and numbers, they kind of stuck with that. But
not necessarily.
I suppose if they make their own...
you can change the numbers combined with the names. We've got the order already set up as how we would see fit, but if you really want to, you can actually take, say for example, a lot of people have said that 800 should have been Gloucester Cathedral. You can change it in the game to make it so Gloucester Cathedral's nameplate comes up with the number 8000. You have to do something with the simulation script. I think it's like semicolon NP equals, and then 1 to 19, I think it is, or like 1 to 20. And you can change your nameplate with the number, but you can make that up if you really wish to, but it's sort of built around our history, if that makes sense.
Sir Liv has asked, could a cathedral have come to America in preservation? Well, it's funny you mention that.
It's funny you mention that, because it didn't come to America. F.W. Hawksworth CME, which is the celebrity preserved one, there's a reason it has that commemorative bell, which I haven't shown, we haven't seen it yet, but it is in the pack. And it's meant to have a whistle difference as well, but that'll come later on as a patch, I believe.
That was a bit of a wobble then, Reese.
It was, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a bit of a wobble too. Oh right, yeah, because I'm seeing the... Oh, I'm watching the stream like with a delay, aren't I? So I've just seen you guys wobble, like 5 seconds after you've wobbled. Oh, you've wobbled again.
Yeah.
But yeah, FW Hawksworth CME 8019 went over to Canada. I'm not going to spoil too much about what happened, but it went on a Canadian trip, Sir Liv, so...
watch Steaming Westward Productions, because I think he's going to go more into detail about that, because that's his pet project. Yeah.
Because Andy's already said to me, and I've already said I'll help him if he needs it, which is Andy's idea into the whole history I've been talking about just. I know I went off on a bit of a ramble about it, but Andy wrote up an entire history and I helped a little bit, Anthony's helped, everyone's had a bit of input for it as well. He's going to be making, hopefully, a proper big fat history video on the cathedral class as we've envisioned it. So I would fully recommend, once that's out, to go and check that out, because he can probably do it more justice than I can say on the stream, or Reese or anyone else, because to be honest, Andy has the most passion with this logo, I think, because it's something he loves this thing so much.
Yeah,
absolutely, and I'm so happy that we managed to club together to make it happen, because even not for the general people who are out there who may, you know, I think of some people out there who may sniff and turn their nose up. To be quite honest, Reese, I think we really did this for Andy's sake, didn't we? Like, at the end of the day.
Definitely.
And I think Andy's very grateful to Chris, and as all of us are very grateful to Chris for actually taking on this commission and ploughing through it so quickly. So, you know, big props to that, and it proves what a guy Chris Wilson actually is. So, you know, I'd like the chat and everyone else here to just go, yay for Chris.
The other thing I'd like to chip in at that point is Chris, he gave us a price, so we all came up with the money that we had to find to get the project going. We raised it within 24 hours, we paid it, and Chris then donated his own money into the project, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah, because he topped it up, didn't he?
He topped it up with his own money, so, you know, it goes to show that he's not just in this for the money, he takes real pride in the work that he does.
When he loves the joy that it gives to people, that's it. That's
I mean,
the thing.
what we're doing right now, I'm sitting in the cab of a cathedral. Never ever thought that this would happen.
In train sim, or even like ever. Like you basically sat on a loco that never existed ever, and is completely fictional. Yet here we are, and people are going to be able to do this sort of thing as well, and just have to play, have a blast, and it's
and enjoy it is the most important thing. Is enjoy it.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching the live stream right now, who's going to go and buy this when it's released? Awkward silence.
Slight pause because me and Reese have already bought this. Basically, we bought this for you guys. When you think about it, technically we have, haven't we?
Well, yeah.
In a weird way, we
Well, if it wasn't for Chris's willingness to take on commissions from friends, which is something I think is absolutely stellar from him.
Absolutely, yeah.
A lot of if you went to a lot of devs, one, they wouldn't even consider commissions, and two, if they did, they certainly wouldn't consider anything fictional.
And thirdly, I don't think their pricing, I think it depends on the pricing as well, because, I remember a funny conversation, I think it was with Jordan actually. He approached a developer, I'm not going to mention names, after a certain locomotive, and they basically turned around to him and said, yeah, I'll do it. And he was like, great, how much? 10 grand. Ooh. Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, I'd like to think I had a good hand in this, the whole bringing of the cathedral about in a way, because I vouched for Chris's work, because of his work on DR1202. I said, well, Chris can pull it off. He can pull off a big loco, big fictional loco. Chris has the talent to do it, and I think, to be honest, he's done it more justice than a lot of other people probably could have. And I think, when you think about the designs that are out there of this Hawksworth Pacific, I know this one might differ slightly to other people's view of it, but Chris has done as much as he can to make it look as close as possible to the official artist's impression that was actually found. The one that's in I think it's called Stars, Castles and Kings, is where the main image comes from. Yeah, and then the weight diagram is one that's publicly available anyway, and it's just a weight diagram. But he had some actual something to work off, and even though it's fictional, the amount of work he had to put in to make it work is quite incredible, and it's quite commendable to see a developer who can do that. So if we sound like we're like sucking Chris off a little bit, I suppose we're not. It's just that we appreciate the fact that there is somebody out there who is willing to listen to the community, listen to their friends, do things, accept the help. It's just nice to have a friend who actually has some talent as well. I'm a freaking talentless hack, so it's nice to have a friend who actually has the drive and the whatever to do things like this. And I'm quite proud to call him a friend, actually, to be honest. So same with you guys, actually.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, I have been drinking, by the way.
Yeah,
that explains it.
It reminds me I might have to go get another can.
We're approaching Cardiff Central now, so
how much water we got?
Water we have got
2,000.
Oh my god!
2,200 gallons.
Sam, we've nearly used 2,000 gallons.
Yep, and I haven't been wasting it either.
Well, we're wasting it a bit now because we are blowing off, but I can't do nothing about that because we're on the approach to Cardiff.
The issue is,
I need to take some screenshots.
The issue is, when we're at full whack, we are literally using everything that we're giving it.
Yeah. There's the old Millennium Stadium in the background.
But yeah, it's really nice as well to actually have a proper Great Western Pacific, and I know people will go, oh, but what about the Great Bear? Well, the Great Bear was an experimental loco that didn't really live up to the expectations.
Ooh.
But, well, let's be honest, it didn't, did it? Because if it had been a brilliant loco, we wouldn't have had one Great Bear, we'd have had like 20 or 30 of them.
Oh, but there are so many problems with the Great Bear. I mean, like, the big major
but that's what I mean. It's nice to have sort of an envisionment of what a proper working Great Western Pacific would have been like, because it's the only one of the big four
that never had
didn't have
class of
successful Pacific class.
Sorry to interrupt just a sec. We just passed Cardiff Canton Depot, where a lot of cathedrals would have been based during their time.
That is true, yes. Including, I think, the preserved Bristol Cathedral.
Oh, 15-mile-an-hour speed limit here. Whoops.
But no, like, this actually, to be fair, this is kind of like a what if the Great Western had managed to develop past and produce a successful Pacific.
Yeah.
So that's a
like
nice,
I said,
thing to see.
It's nice to have like representation, even though it's fictional, but it's based on a real design.
Yeah.
And it is sort of the missing link in a way. It's the LMS had two Pacifics.
The Duchesses, yeah. The LNER had mountains of Pacifics.
Yeah, the LNER had a variety. The Southern had the Bullieds. And the Great Western had the Great Bear, and that was it. And then British Railways had the Britannias and Clans. But yeah, it's the only one of the major railway companies in the country that didn't have a successful class of Pacific, so it's nice to see it represented.
Yeah, absolutely. Blenderino. Makes you kind of thinking, well, like other designs that never got off the drawing board, like Gresley's idea for a mountain class or a 284. The Super Duchess, which would have been a 464.
We're just going to mention the Super Duchess, which in a way it's quite similar to this in a sense. If this is essentially a larger king, the Super Duchess would have been the equivalent with a Duchess.
And I think it probably would have been. I think with a firebox that big, you would have probably needed a mechanical stoker for it, wouldn't you? For the Super Duchess.
Easily.
I think so. I think the Duchess is about as big as you can get for a manually fired lurker. It was the LMS found when they were doing the trials of it. They found that the limit of the engine was not necessarily the mechanics of it, but the ability of the crew.
The limitations of the human, yeah.
Yeah, the Duchess set the power record for a steam engine in this country, and in order to do that, they had to have two firemen firing at once. That's not two firemen on like a rotating system. That's two firemen firing at once.
Jesus.
To keep up with the consumption.
Alright, chaps, I do need to have a quick toilet break. I'm going to nip to the bog on the platform.
Okay, well, me and Sam will look after the engine for a minute.
Yeah, we got our moments.
Yeah, look after.
Yes.
Where's the backwards button?
What are you going to do? Put the reverser into reverse? So it resets off and it's going back.
Do you know what?
Do it. Oh god, yeah, and hide the HUD again. That'd be funny.
No one tell him about that.
Right, everybody, we're sworn to silence. Me and Sam are going to talk about something else, though. We're going to continue our lovely discussion of other fictional designs that could have been, because I like talking about things. It's fun.
See, it is one thing I like. I mean, the way I see it, Train Simulator isn't really an accurate simulator. It's more it's a game, really, rather than a simulator.
Yeah.
But I think it is nice to see fictional stuff in it, because the way I see it, Train Sim is for recreating stuff like you can't go out and see and do in real life.
Exactly, and it's like...
Such as this.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that's been built for the game, it's almost like trying to represent the past as well.
I'm back.
Well,
yeah.
You know, if we're representing the past, why not do something for a bit of fun? Because it is, at the end of the day, a game. It's not a... I mean, it is a simulator, but it's more like a cartoony simulator. I mean, look at the Super 47 and the Super Pug, for example. Top 10.
Yeah. And, I mean, the thing is, you're never going to get realistic simulation from this game. You can get an idea of it, you can get a representation of it, but it's... Even the most advanced locos in this game, even the Super D, is not realistic. No,
and you can't... The thing is, you've got to remember, is you can't simulate the feeling... and the
the smells, the sounds,
exactly.
the actual touch of the engine, the way it performs. It's
I mean, think about it. If you're barreling along the main line, a lot of drivers actually can tell. Not like I think there are stories about it. Not a lot of like firemen and drivers. They could sense where they were just from the feel of the locomotive on the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing when you think about it.
It's like the way we're firing it as well. No engine in train sim can be fired realistically because you can't look at the fire and see where you're chucking the coal.
No.
You know, and I've had chats with guys who've like they've fired.
Oh, Sam, we were.
I know, I've seen it.
Oh.
But
What have you seen?
yeah, it's like I've had chats with guys who can fire an engine by like the smell of the smoke from the chimney. Like they can stick the head out of one side of the cab or the other and go, right, that side needs more coal on.
Can I just ask, did you put
Yeah.
the loco in reverse
No?
so that I wouldn't check and we'd start off going backwards?
Absolutely not. Why would you think such an awful thing about your friends?
Because this is
Honestly,
YouTube.
Reese. Yeah, it's exactly, this is us two. We're the competent ones here.
I think what happened, Reese, is you must have stopped and put the loco in reverse yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanted to go back to Swansea to get some water from the harbour, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll go put some dock water in the tank. Right then, let's
Engines mustn't go fishing.
We ready, Sam?
I don't know.
Oh man,
sounds good
I
enough.
should. You know, I just realised something. I know what I should have done while we were stopped here.
Well, you better be quick. We're actually moving.
No, just go. I'm gonna go for a cigarette, but I can just go for one whenever, can't I?
Well,
Really?
just wind the window down. It's fine.
Wind the window down.
I do find it hilarious that some steam locos do have a little sign on the cab that says no smoking.
And it's like, what's the engine
Yeah.
doing then?
It's like,
Yeah,
I
it's not exactly like it's going to do much more damage than
Not
steam
particularly.
engine smoke, is it?
No, it's kind of like the weird thing that, I mean, Reese knows this, when we've been to heritage railways, it's like I've always argued, because I am a smoker, if the steam engine's allowed to smoke in the platform, why can't I have a cigarette on the platform?
Yeah.
You know, this thing's belching out loads of toxic bloody chemicals and things.
And it is an open space as well. It's not like it's...
it's not completely enclosed.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, a semi-enclosed cab, but you've still got this massive hole. Plus, you've got lots of ventilation because the air's flowing either side.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if you're just there, you just go to you're the farmer, you just go to your driver, oh, Bob, you know what's happened, don't you? He goes, well, what's that? Oh, I've left my lighter back at home. Mate, there's literally a fire right here, just light your fag in there. Oh, okay. Puts a cigarette in and loses it, gets sucked out through the chimney, through the firebox while it's on the move. It's like, no!
That scene does look pretty good.
That does look pretty hench. This is a pretty hench
It's a
motor.
support coach there that makes it though, Reese, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously the BLS support coach that just
Is
makes
it?
it just completes this pack.
I really don't think it does.
I might have to stick the Cathedral into LMS Crimson.
Oh,
Mate, I think Jordan's already going to do that, but
do you know
we'll
what?
see.
Do it.
Actually,
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Actually, to be fair, once it's out.
Or maybe even Great Western Crimson.
Ooh.
I'll go for Great Western Crimson and Great Western Chocolate.
Oh, hey up.
Round.
You've had a €5 donation. Imagine if the GSR B1A class had 4 cylinders. They're basically the same power as a King from just 3 cylinders. Cab overhang. It'd be scary though.
Oh, wow.
What's the G? Oh, Great Southern Railway B1A.
Is it? I think it's an Irish logo.
Irish one loco, yeah.
Because Spud
The only
607 is Irish.
The only Irish loco I actually really like is GSR 8000 Maeve.
So, Spud 607. Thank you very much for the donation. This kebab is looking more likely now, lads.
I mean, you have got like what, nearly 20 quid already, I think.
£16.49.
Amazing.
That is a kebab right there.
Well, Reese is going to get a kebab. I'm going to go cry some salty tears into the sink.
I'll send you a picture of it, Tom.
You know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to do a kebab stream.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
You're going to have to do like a stream specifically dedicated to this whole
You.
kebab thing.
You know what that reminds me of? There's an April Fool's I did ages ago called Dark Eats, And it was just me eating food. Just do that. Just do the angry, the hungry. Just call it the Hungry
Welshman.
Yeah.
Hungry Welshman Productions.
Hungry Welshman
You just
Productions.
sit there and make it like a special episode where it's just like, this is just me saying thank you to all of my audience for helping me with this kebab.
Yum, yum, yum,
Just describe everything about it, just like, oh, it's so much salt, so much grease.
Before you go, Tom, just a real quick one. Sirliv says, serious question, why didn't Chris do the 8-wheel Hawkswift tender? Like a bigger version of the Great Bears water cart. Do you know, it's something that I did actually ask, is do we want... I actually suggested the 8-wheel collet tender. Because there was a design, I think, for that.
There was actually
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it before as well. There was actually an 8-wheel collet tender.
And it
I think that would actually suit it.
Yeah.
I did suggest
Problem,
that...
it when... Go on, Mace.
I was just going to say, I did suggest it. But, yeah. As always, Tom...
Oh, God, enough. Oh,
overruled.
God, me? I didn't overrule it. I'd have loved to have seen a lot more in there.
Chris says the 8-wheel tenders were very rare. Well, they never made one before.
It wouldn't have existed. It wouldn't have existed, Chris. It would have been fictional for the Hawksworth Cathedral.
Yeah, the 8-wheel collet tender was just a. I don't think it was a proper design, but it was never made.
There was one collet 8-wheel tender, but there was never an 8-wheeled Hawksworth tender.
Yeah,
wait, there was a collet tender.
There are photos of it as well if you Google it.
You kidding? Yeah. I thought it was just a design.
No. It did exist. There was one
right.
in this
Let me. If it exists, I'm going to be so
salty.
Unbelievably salty for the rest of the live stream.
It does exist.
Right, Sam. Is this probably the time I should dip out for a cigarette if he's going to be salty?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
I will be back. I'll be back.
Right, 8-wheel collet tender.
Oh God!
You are kidding me. There it is.
Alright, I'm going. Bye.
It was a thing.
It was a thing. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's the issue when you get to such big locos like this is that they look odd with a normal 6-wheel tender behind them. The tender looks too small.
I genuinely thought it wasn't a real thing. I thought it was just a fictional design. I am so salty. I am so salty. I am so salty.
Commission one from Chris.
Everyone, Tom, Oliver, Chris, and Andy, everybody that outvoted me. I am so salty.
Commission one from Chris. Commission one to go with a night owl.
I tell you what, this tender would look good behind the night owl. That would look very good behind it.
Like I said, I think it's kind of a weird thing. For me, I personally think that the 4-wheel tenders often look better behind locos than the 6-wheel ones.
Yeah.
I find the 6-wheel ones often look a little bit too short and out of proportion compared to the engine.
I tell you what does look good, and I know it's a bit of a stone's throw from what we're doing right now today, but is it the Lord Nelsons?
Yeah.
The massive 8-wheel tenders that they have, you know, the boat tenders, they look really good. They look super good.
Speaking of 8-wheel tenders, I think Chris has got Chris is planning a new one for the Dunall Stair 2, isn't it?
What, a new
I think
Caledonian tender?
Yeah, a new Caledonian 8-wheel bogie tender from the looks of it.
Nice. I can't remember, it's been a while since Chris released a Caledonian Loco.
It has.
Loco.
I'm getting a little bit concerned, to be perfectly honest.
I was going to say, I thought the only reason he would stop is because he's running out of Caledonian Locos to make.
Yeah.
But, you know, and at some point I believe Chris is going to go back and revisit all his older DLCs with 2.0 and, you know, those older models. They're going to look so good.
I think 123 was on his to-do list to completely redo, because wasn't that his first Loco?
No, it was 812.
Were it 812? I thought 123 was his first one and 812 was shortly after.
Oh, 812 was certainly the first release.
But yeah, it was up there. It was one of his early Locos. But I think he was intending to go back and completely redo it from scratch.
Yeah.
which it would be interesting to see as a comparison.
We're on the Peterstone Flats. One of the most flattest parts of the Great Western Main Line. Although all this has changed because they've put the electric wires overhead.
Yeah.
So this is a scene that is gone forever now. I should mention I'm using the South Wales Coastal and Welsh Marches route, the unbranded version.
Do you know what, Reese? We're an hour and a half in as well, and we haven't even got onto the Welsh Marches yet.
I know, that's worrying me. We're already an hour and a half in, and we're still not at Newport.
Like, this is not going as well as I thought it would be.
Well, I was hoping to make a bit more speed between Swansea and here.
Yeah.
Like, we should have really been doing 90 along this stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Chris did 1, 2, 3, and then he remade 1, 2, 3.
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently. I don't know, I can't really remember, to be honest. It were a while ago now.
Me Engineer 100 saying how fast we'll get up Llandaff Bank. This is where the loco's going to be put through her paces. I think we'll probably keep about 35, 40 going up that bank.
Well, she's not particularly quick on the flat. The question is, can she barrel over the hills?
Yeah.
Because if she can maintain this sort of speed barreling over the hills, we're alright. But if she can't perform on the hills, then we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Well, if she can't perform on the hills, then I'm going to need another can of Coke.
Yeah.
Or I'll be falling asleep on the shovel.
Well, we're up to 72. I think this is the fastest we've got her during this live stream.
Well, we are on a big long flat straight, so...
Yeah, this is a big long flat straight, and we're just at full breg. She's a good hill climber, says Tom.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, the Llandaff Bank is certainly going to put her through her paces, because that is quite a long uphill stretch. I seem to remember this part of the route gets really laggy because we start getting to the point where we're transitioning from South Wales Coastal to Welsh Marches.
Yeah. We get the scenery upgrade.
Yeah. I'd like to make a bet. If Rhys stalls on the bank, you have to donate while urging him to crash. If he doesn't stall, I'll have to admit to him in Discord that he should have crashed. Okay, well that's a weird bet, but okay. We do have a stop booked at Newport. We're just approaching Alexandra Dock Junction. We're just approaching the permanent speed restriction zones as well on the approach to Newport.
Yep.
Yeah, here's the lag spikes.
Yeah.
Around Alexandra Dock Junction, it just really lags.
Which is not helpful when we want to stop.
No, it's not.
Right, if we're coming up to a stop, I'll stop firing and stick some water in.
We are stopping at Newport.
Yep.
I can't remember what the speed limit is here. 60. I've slowed down too much. You get some really annoying loud AWS warnings on the approach as well.
Yeah.
But they're permanent fixtures. Alexandra Docks Junction, so down that to the right is one of my one of the ports that I'm authorised for. In fact, we've pretty much done a sightseeing tour of my district.
Yep.
We've done Swansea, Port Talbot. We've been past Barry, but I'm not authorised for Barry anyway, so that's fine. And Cardiff and Newport. Oh, quite a lot of water in the boiler there.
Yeah.
I'll open up the cylinder cocks.
It's not the water in the boiler that worries me.
It's the lack of water in the tender.
Yeah.
I think we've got enough to get to Pontypool. 1731 gallons.
I think we'll be fine to Pontypool. It's just
The rest
if we
of the
keep
run.
up that rate on the rest of the journey, we're gonna have issues.
I did wonder if I should put a water stop at Craven's Arms or something.
The answer to that apparently would be yes.
I mean, I could still add it if we're absolutely desperate.
Yeah.
It may or
See,
may not have to be.
If only we had an 8-wheel tender with an extra 1,000 or 2,000 gallons, it wouldn't be an
know.
issue.
Has the salt content gone down
No,
yet
now
too
that
much?
you're back, I'm going to be even more salty.
Oh, for God's sake! Well, it's a good job I got some frazzles then, isn't it?
Going in a tunnel. Here we go.
Oh, are we going to squeak for a funnel and never come out again?
Yes.
Sweet stuff.
With the amount of water we have left, that may well be the case.
I mean, I'll tell you what would have been good, Reese. I mean, it would have been good if you had, say, I don't know, my Loco's 5,500 gallon tender, perhaps.
Oof.
I'll just send it along next time.
Reece, you should have taken the apple green one with a Flying Scotsman tender.
Oh, the double tenders, yeah.
That would work.
Rhys Arnold says we can coast the last 15 to 20 miles into Shrewsbury from Craven Arms.
We might have to.
Well, I mean, that takes some of the pressure off, I think.
I just realised I don't think anyone can hear us in the echoey tunnel. It's great. Should we talk smack about the audience while we're in the tunnel?
It's not that echoey, is it? And we're arriving at Newport, platform 2.
Nav Media Productions has asked you, Reese, to ask me if you can borrow Rick's tender and put it in Great Western Green behind the cathedral. I've already done that.
Tom, can I borrow the Rick's tender?
Let me think about that. No.
N-O.
Next question.
Next.
Reece.
What?
We're wiping out the platform.
The loading gauge is a bit off for Newport.
Only a wee bit.
I think we've widened.
Like a river chunk.
We've widened the platform a bit.
It'll buff out.
That's exactly what we've done, Tom. We've just buffed out the platform.
Yeah, just made it fit a little bit better, that's all. Now we can get a haul through here.
If you don't fit the first time round...
Oh, of course, I stopped right under a bridge.
Nice, Reece.
Brilliant.
I thought you'd have aimed for the signals, but...
Well, I stopped a little bit early there. But to be fair, it's Newport. It's a very long platform. Let's see how far... We are, yeah, we're in the platform, so it's alright.
Would anyone like a fun fact about Newport Station here that we're looking at?
Go on, let's have a fun fact.
It's actually what Andy based New Harlech on the Isle of New Wessex on.
Is it?
Hey.
Yep, he based New Harlech Station on Newport for Tales of New Wessex is Isle of New Wessex.
Oh,
Have you seen that? You haven't seen it then, Reece? You should have a look at some of Andy's pictures. I'm sure he'll send you some. But he basically made Newport.
Nice. I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I'll get him onto that when I talk to him next.
Oh, Me Engineer says the bridge isn't there anymore. Has it been demolished? I didn't realise that was happening so soon. Aww. They've literally... One of the worst things about Newport is it was, up until only a few years ago, it was still very much a Great Western station. It was still in, like, as it was condition. But then they built the space tower thing on the back of it, which ruined it. I mean, it is progress, I suppose, but... And then now they're bulldozing the actual Great Western-y bits.
See, you say it's progress, but progress isn't always a good thing.
No, it's ruined it as far as I'm concerned. The one thing I loved about Newport was it, even though it was a modern station...
It still had that charm.
It still had the Great Western Railway charm about it.
Aww.
And they just, year on year, it just seems to be disappearing. Which I'm really sad about. It was also the first place I ever cabbed a diesel. I think it was actually either a Class 56 or a Class 31 during a big BR Open day.
If it had been a 56, that would have been hench.
I'm pretty sure it could have been a grid.
I love grids!
It was right at the end of British Railways before they were privatised. There was a big old open day here at Newport's High Street with just
Amazing.
diesels everywhere. I remember there was a class 20, one or two class 20s were on show. There was a couple of Gronks from the docks. There was a 31, a Grid, several 37s. Yeah, it was a cracking day. And then my dad took me on a ride on a Intercity Swallow livery HST.
Ooh.
That was my first HST ride, and that, with the old Valenta engines in them, that really stuck with me, that did. Anyway,
Love
back
that
to...
sentence. Love that sentence, Gronks from the docks.
yeah.
There's just sort of... There's a nice characteristic thing there, isn't there?
You guys lost.
Bronx.
You guys lost me at class 20s. I didn't realise how salty some people are about a certain class 20 I killed a little while ago.
You killed him off. What was his name
I
again?
did. Kammer.
Oh, Kammer, that's it.
I had Bruce raving at me earlier on about it.
We ready?
Well, we're going whether we're ready or not.
Well, I mean, I've just come back from the toilet on the platform. I didn't succeed in chatting up anyone else in Newport because for some reason they all have husbands. So never mind.
Well, that's no good.
Not really.
My engineer says it's about time that a line in Wales was electrified. Yeah, I mean, it's progress. I mean, I know a lot of people have complained about the wires, and it is sometimes when you're taking photos, it is a little bit sad, but at the end of the day, we have to move forward, not back.
And plus, everywhere else has got electrification.
Yeah.
So,
Well, look, it is an interesting point, because reminds me, you're saying it's progress and all that lot. This takes me back to 2019 when we took Bahamas over the S&C for the first time. And it was the day after a fairly bad storm, and a tree had come down on the live wires in front. And it was, we got into Keighley Station on Worth Valley side, we were ready to go on to the main line, and we were looking over on the main line and we saw the electric train that had just gone come back on the same track. And we thought, that's something going on there.
that's kind of sus.
So we got in touch with the signallers, and they said, oh, they've reported that there's a tree on the line. And they said, well, all the trains we have in the area are electric, so we can't send anything to have a look at it. So can you go and have a look? So I went, alright then.
Okay.
So we ended up going and having a look at this tree, and it were basically just resting on the overhead wires. So we basically went, oh yeah, that's fine, we can get past that, off we go. But that was one of the rare occasions in which a steam locomotive proved to be more useful than the modern stuff.
Also, Tornado did during those snowstorms.
Yeah.
Right, we are on the main D triangle. We are leaving the South Wales main line, and we're diverging onto the Welsh Marches line up towards Cwmbran.
Let's go!
The only thing I've realised, Sam, we forgot to change the express headboard.
Well,
We're
we're still taking the Red Dragon.
We'll take the Red Dragon as far as Pontypool, and then we'll take the headboard off.
Might as well leave it on.
Well, no, the Red Dragon didn't go up this way.
Yeah, but neither did the Cathedral.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, you know.
We should stick a Welsh Marches one on, but we don't have one.
Yeah, there is no Welsh Marches headboard, is there? But I don't know of any other headboard that would be more appropriate on this route.
Intercity?
I don't know. Maybe the people in the chat can help.
No.
What would be an appropriate headboard?
I'd have just fiddled along and put Capitals United Express, even though you're going nowhere near the capital.
We're going through Reese's House Express.
King Ori says the Cambrian coast.
But it's not really the Cambrian coast, is it?
Well, I suppose you go to Shrewsbury and then you go left, and then you head out towards the Cambrian coast.
Oswestry, isn't it?
Is it Oswestry?
think so. I think Oswestry's on the Cwmbran network, isn't it?
Well, I may have overdone the firing a bit, but it's fine, it'll clear.
Right, that comment is being yeeted.
Well, hey! It's Callum has joined us. Right, we're on the Welsh Marches now, let's open her up.
Hey, Callum! Here's his little voice somewhere go.
Riley says the Dark Railway Express or Dark Express.
Mate, I should have just done I should just rethink one of the headphones to be the Ventura. That would have been good.
That would have been quite decent.
That actually works as well, because it's just, you know... Oh, there you go, the Merchant Venturer. That'll do. Use that headphone, that'll do.
Merchant Venturer?
Yeah, do it. Do it for the Vine. Do it.
Reese is currently on the front of the engine because we are very health and safety conscious.
No,
Yep.
you've just made me climb over to the front of the engine.
We
while
made
you
the
drive.
traction inspector walk out.
To be fair, the footplate's probably wide enough for me to walk along.
Looking at the plate on the front, on the side, you could probably... we'll put it this way, I think an elephant could walk along that.
It's one good thing about Great Western engines being so fat.
pH fat.
I think the term is thick, THICC.
No, it's just pH
Reese,
fat.
we're not talking about the intelligence of the crew.
Oh.
Did the line from Llandaff join this line? No, yes it did, and no it didn't at the same time. Up ahead we'll be passing a little town called Caerleon. There was a branch line which veered off up the eastern valley, but the mineral line, ran under the... Where we crossed the bridge out in Newport High Street, there was a branch line that ran under there, and that went up to Llandaff, and that was known as the Eastern Valley's mineral line, and that basically connected all the mines in the Eastern Valley directly with Newport Docks. And no, I haven't been doing copious amounts of research into this area for Over the Hills.
Of course
Not at all.
Not at all.
Never.
Well, we're doing 48 mile an hour at the moment.
I just thought of something actually. Then we said about these engines being like quite on the wide side.
Yeah.
I've only got one thing to diddly about this, and I'm sure Riley will laugh when I do this if he's still watching. Diddle-diddle, 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 diddle-diddle. If you don't know what that is, that's Song for Denise, the Wide Putin song.
Okay.
Oh god, only Riley's going to get that now. That makes me feel so stupid and old.
Just imagine the one guy in the crowd that just goes, "Ah!"
Reese, I've had the best of ideas.
Oh god, what?
You need a double headless with the core tank.
What?
What?
Hear me out on this.
No! Absolutely not!
No, seriously, just for a comparison on the size.
Ooh.
Because the core tank is the narrowest engine I know.
Bruh, you need to double head this with the Manning Model 313.
That would be hilarious. I think the hammer blow from the cylinders would literally just throw that thing off the track.
Probably. I'm still trying to get a Steamy John souped up version of it. Where are we now then, boys? And how much water have we got left?
1,500 gallons.
We're gonna be alright to get to Pontypool.
You'll be alright. You'll be fine.
But,
And here's a big but. You know what they could do on this route?
big
Water
but, we're
drops.
talking about the size of the cathedral again?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Other Reverends can deny, if you like. Interesting tidbit as well, actually. We discovered that, technically speaking, with the overhang on the roof, the cathedral itself, locomotive-wise, is longer than Rick, which is kind of funny.
Hasn't it got a smaller axle loading because Rick's boiler is just massive?
Technically speaking, because Rick had more axles, he is actually got a better axle loading than the cathedral.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
And he's also got one less cylinder, so he hasn't got all that heavy weight. But the tender is a different story. The tender is much longer on my one than the cathedral. So the cathedral actually fits on a turntable without me having to bodge it.
Callum says, I can't believe that you're driving a cathedral to Shrewsbury now that he's already left the area.
And that's exactly why we're doing it, isn't it?
Callum's gone, let's go to Shrewsbury.
Yeah, just like, woo! Partay!
Pretty much what happened when I went to the Severn Valley.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Callum was like living around there at the time, or he moved out of Bridgenorth?
I think he just... Wasn't it Bewdley that he lived at?
No, he lived in Bridgenorth.
Oh, I thought it was Bewdley. At least I thought it was Bewdley.
I'm sure he'll correct us in the comments.
He will. Any minute now. Any minute now. Yeah, I was right. There it is, Bewdley.
Balls!
Right, we're approaching Cwmbran.
Does that mean I'm officially not a good friend anymore?
Well, because we're approaching Cwmbran.
No, because I didn't know that Callum lived in Bewdley, not Bridgenorth.
Oh, right, okay. I thought that was a weird thing to say.
Well, yeah, I am a bad friend because you're arriving in Cwmbran. Well,
we're just passing a place called the Boating Lake, which I take my
Reese,
dog for a walk
you've just
around.
moved the fin just as I'm filling up the boiler.
Alright, sorry.
Okay, you can move now.
But yeah, we've just passed a place called the Boating Lake. It's just a big lake and like a place
Do
to
people
walk
go
and
boating on it?
people go boating on it, funnily enough.
no, they go parasailing on it.
Yeah, spot on. But yeah, the Network Rail are cutting down all the trees. It looks so different now. And nobody gives a crap.
What is J Law's complaining about? Every single stream. What happened?
I don't really know. He's going nuts about something.
Sounds like Tracy sometimes.
To be honest, I tried to just mute my eyes from the streamers, from the chat, because the majority of comments are just, what's his name? Joe Light Railway asking if we can drive somewhere that's not even in the game.
Well, we could drive to John O'Groats.
Yeah, why not?
That's not in the game. That's not in the game. Tell you what, actually, there is a railway I'd like to actually see represented in the game, and it's going to be a bit of a weird one. The Helston Railway in Cornwall.
That would be an interesting one.
Because it's only a mile long, but their intentions are quite nice. They want to get back to Helston, and they also have the most southern station in the United Kingdom at Truthful Halt.
Oh, nice.
So, even Network Rail came along and said, alright, that is correct. Sherlock Railway asks, Reese, is this where you live? No, he doesn't live at a station. Next!
I live at Cwmbran Station, yeah, definitely.
He's Welsh, he lives in a mine.
Yeah, I live underground.
Yeah, Reese lives in a mine underground, so does Sam.
Didn't you think it was weird that there's
I live in the famous Keighley tea mine.
Well, I live apparently on a farm because I'm from Dorset.
Oh yeah, you've got to live on a farm.
Got to, man. I've got eels and everything. Wait, can you have eels on a farm?
Why not?
I think you can have your farms.
I'll have eels and I'll have I don't know, weasels and.
Tom.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get a van and call it Eels on Wheels?
Amazing. Yes, I am.
Delivery of your eels.
It's the eel deal, you see.
Callum says I live in the mine where pot noodles are from.
Mate, I want to live in that mine.
Well, it was a coal mine in Cwmbran, but there's also, on the site, there's a factory where they make pot noodles, and all the people used to joke that they were mining for pot noodle there.
Oh, brilliant.
We're just passing Nouth Insulation, the factory where I used to work, and I hated every minute of working there because it was crap. It really was a bad place to work, that.
I've just seen what you meant about the comment section, Reese. I've just seen another comment about a railway.
Yeah, every single stream. Every single stream. And there's another one. And it doesn't matter how many times you answer, they just don't stop.
It's a bit like the tanky questions. Like, I'm sure I saw an earlier one, like, something about who's your favourite female character in Thomas and Friends. It's like
Yeah.
I didn't realise there were female characters in Thomas and Friends. Like, they all look the same. All
Just
trains.
passing Pantig, where I used to go train spotting on that bridge.
Oh, mint.
No trains.
No trains though.
No trains on the train point.
I'm just running the speed down a little bit, Sam, because we're on the approach to Pontypool.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to keep this boiler water level as high as I can at the moment, because we're going to fill up.
I love that the ATC just has this tiny little lever. You just ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh yeah, it's just like, I'm scared. Oh,
Great Western and the tiny levers.
kind of interesting question for you two, actually, and it's more local to me, but I wanted to know your thoughts on it. You guys have heard about the 442 plastic pigs, haven't you?
The what?
The 442s down my way on South Western.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Wessex Electrics. Now, I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know whether you knew about it, Sam, but basically, the South Western Railway spent a load of money refurbishing them, and now they're withdrawing them.
Oh!
That's about right.
And I think the idea is that one of the hopefully, at least, I would like a whole unit, but probably a driving motor will probably go to the NRM now. But they literally bought them back off Angel Trains and from their lease on Gatwick Express, refurbished them, all the traction motors, all the interiors, everything. And because they've been sat out of service this year, they've just gone, nah, we don't want to run them anymore. I think there's loads of problems with them apparently, but they've just given up on them basically. And it makes me very sad because I drive past them every day on my way to work.
Yeah.
But it's more the fact that
They spent all that money doing them up and then they're like, yeah, fuck it.
I mean, that's what I'm
Hey, look,
opinion on.
there's my money in the swear jar for the night.
Hey.
Oh, hey, I'm the only one who hasn't sworn so far. Brilliant.
Well done, Sam. There goes the monetization. That's it. It's never going to be
Yeah,
featured
that's
on
it.
Caledonia
No,
Woods.
You did it twice before,
Chris isn't
Maurice.
featuring it now. That's it. No, nothing yet. It's more the opinion of you guys. What do you think about companies refurbishing old stock and then just getting rid of them?
Well, refurbishing old stock, I think, yeah, that's a great idea because, you know, it gives it extra life, it keeps it going. The 333s on my local line have been done up recently. And it's quite nice to see it, yeah, keep them going. But it's also kind of a, you've got to decide if you are going to do them up, you want to do them up.
Yeah.
And you want to keep them. There's no point doing it up if you're just going to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's why I think it's just an incredible waste of money. Why bother doing all that work and then just essentially overrunning platforms like Reese is about to do?
No, I got stopped in the right place.
Oh, right, okay. It just makes me kind of sad, really, because it's almost a bit like the situation with the Isle of Wight trains, because they, that
might just be
sliver over.
No, I need to stop here because the marker for the water point, I put it in line with this no passengers sign.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
right, I see. They
we
get
got-
filled up then.
BNG water tanker is right there. So we're about to find out if it works.
If it works.
We got 1,200 gallons.
Let's go.
The answer is yes, it does.
Excellent. We're going to complete this one with a full tank of water. Excellent work, everybody. Well done, team. Well done, you two, for getting so far without running a drive. Brilliant work.
Pontypool and New Inn.
We've certainly been trying to run a dry.
I was going to say, it's,
I am injecting at the moment.
yeah, definitely keep the boiler like pressed full of water.
It will be because I can't see the hood, so I have literally no idea how full it is.
Yeah, it's too full.
Yep, I thought it might be.
I noticed something weird, actually, Reese, with this, which is when you put the injectors on, once it gets to 1.20, because the steam is like literally like, you know, chucking away all of its pressure, but as soon as you hit 120, it stops using any pressure at all.
Oh.
That's
really odd.
interesting. It must be hitting the limit for priming.
I think it's a TS glitch, to be fair.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about Pontypool and New Inn Station, this is actually my station, so my house is just up there somewhere.
Don't actually show people, otherwise you get a bunch of creepy stalkers outside your house.
It's actually not modelled.
Oh, brilliant! That's right. So
Bossman Games hasn't actually modelled it. They've just,
people
But
put,
for anyone who wants
randomly
to look,
knocking at
if
people's
you,
houses.
they've just put a bunch of houses there, but my house isn't actually there. But what's his name? Calvin decided to model my house on his route, which is
Oh dear.
based on Pontypool Road, and he just put like a massive castle with like sheep manning artillery guns and all sorts. I'll have to find this, I'll have to see if he's still got the screenshots for that, because it was hilarious. But yeah, Pontypool and Ewan, they've just announced that they're going to spend about £8 million doing the station up. So
I'm going to say, not really much here, is there?
There's not.
There's next to nothing here.
That was like my first TF station.
The only reason that the station was not bulldozed is because they wanted to keep a backup platform for Newport.
Yeah.
For like all the rugby specials and the football specials, they needed a platform long enough to take them as a backup. That's the only reason that this station survived. They would have bulldozed it otherwise. But
it's sad.
I know it is really sad compared to what it used to be years ago. It was one of the biggest stations in Britain. But
I mean, how far would that mean you'd have to physically go in order to catch a train then?
Well, here.
Yeah, if this station ceased to exist, you'd have to go. Where would you have to go? Back to
Cwmbran is the next nearest station, or Abergavenny.
Jeez.
So quite a while. But yeah, I'm just looking at the rest of the valley and Pontypool in particular. My hometown, by the way, guys. They're going to bulldoze these trees and these bits of field here. And they're going to build a big old car park for about 200 cars. There's going to be slip lanes to the dual carriageway. And then there's going to be a new station building. And I'm trying to convince them to build a kebab shop in the station like they did.
Of course you are.
Cwmbran, because then I can literally walk down the footpath and get a kebab and go back to my house. And I will be so happy if they do.
You want a Greg's?
Either a Greg's or a kebab shop. I prefer a kebab shop. The reason I say kebab shop is because they did it at Cwmbran. There is literally a kebab shop in the railway station and it is epic.
Yeah, but if Liz won at Cwmbran, will they want the competition? Oh, Reese!
Also, why don't you just move to Cwmbran?
Reese, you could do a kebab shop run. You know, like you do pub crawls.
Kebab shop.
You could get the train and you could do like a kebab
Station
shop
kebab crawl.
Yeah.
That would be epic. Right.
That could be your stream. That could be your That could be your donation stream.
Donate money for me to eat a kebab at every railway station with a kebab
No, it's
shop.
all the money. It's all the money you've already got. Basically, it's just you film yourself going up to a kebab shop, buying the kebab, and then getting it home safely after having to waddle through the rivers and all that.
Waddle, waddle.
And then he waddled away.
And then he waddled away. Sam, you might want to stop firing.
Oh, I didn't know I was.
£1,200.
Well, I'm gonna run out.
Right, I'm putting the blower on.
You'll have to ease it off a bit. I'm going to say you're allowed to chuck away water now. Got a full tank.
Yeah. Right. We're nearly full.
Meow.
I love the BMG water tanker because it takes a really long time to fill up.
It's not like the hose pipes where it's like boom, instant water.
It's always like it's being pumped out at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, just like 1,000 gallons a second, just like meow.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I've got 600 gallons now, I've got 1,200 now, I've got 2,000.
Whoa.
Right then, are we ready, Sam?
Well, not really, but
It'll have to be.
We are massively priming and we are massively overfired. Let's go.
I got desperate, so I walked to the train to find any single women. Apparently, there is none on the train. I'm not getting a date on this journey tonight, am I?
I'm not entirely convinced there's anyone on the train at all. I don't think we've actually seen the doors open or shut.
I saw one person.
Oh, we've got one person.
His name's John.
Open.
Is he Lagarde?
Yeah.
I don't think that AP coaches actually have people in the compartments, man.
What about, is there a support crew?
Well, I didn't see any. Look, all
so
the
who's
coaches
supporting
are
us on our
empty.
journey? Oh, who's supporting us on a journey then? What's the point? Oh man, no wonder I couldn't find any women.
There's no one. We're literally hauling an empty train.
So this is actually a light engine move, ECS
This is
move.
empty coach and start move.
And we've been stopping at every. Oh, just call it a test run. Just call it a test run
For
because
crew
it's specific.
Crew training,
Yeah,
that's it.
exercise. Yeah, that'll do.
Crew familiarisation.
Says the one with the traction inspector who knows nothing about the line.
I've kept the drain cocks open for quite a bit just to get any extra water out. Oh, I forgot to save the game.
How far have we got to get to Bingybob?
Let's see. Next stop is Hereford in 33 miles.
Oh, this is BBC News Hereford for Hereford.
And then we got Leominster at 45 miles, then Ludlow at 56, Craven Arm at 64.
Why did you put so many stops in?
Well,
Crew training
purposes, Sam. Get with the programme.
We didn't just totally invent
a programme to get with.
I'm handing out flyers, Sam. Didn't you see my flyer?
No.
It said join us for crew training on the Swansea to Shrewsbury line with big chunky engine that didn't exist.
Big Chungus.
Big Chungus, yeah.
It's quite a significant line though. This for our Metal BLS link since we've got the coach with us. It was this was, as far as I know, this was the first route that Bahamas did when returning to steam.
I believe she shared a rail tour with number 6000, didn't she?
She did. I think it was a diesel that brought it up from wherever it came from. I think King George did Newport to Hereford.
Yeah.
Bahamas took over at Hereford and did Hereford to Shrewsbury. And then the diesel took over again there and took it back wherever it came from.
Deepest, darkest London.
Deepest, darkest London indeed.
James
London
Ellison
town.
is in the chat, says how is progress? Well, we're actually doing okay.
After a bit of panic about water, but now we're good.
Well, I wouldn't say panic, just mild concern.
The thing is, the concern wasn't for the bit we've just done, the concern is for the bit we've got to go.
Although with 1,400 gallons, we probably could have made it.
Well, we got 4,000 gallons in the tender, we got 88 miles to go. We should
we'll be fine.
We should be alright. It's just we need to... We are blowing off right now, so I'm going to open up the reg a little bit.
Oh, you should just bomb it as much as you can, Reese.
Go on.
420 blaze it, yeah, just 420 blaze at St. Michael.
Yeah, don't take it easy, just go for it.
Just go meow.
We've got to get rid of... You've got to get rid of that colossal fire that I've accidentally put in.
Just bear in mind, we're going to need the ideal fire mass for when we hit Llanfairpwll Bank.
Hence why I said bomb it now, because you need to get rid of that excess fire.
It'll be
David
fine.
Seward says, if you're blowing off, use the go louder stick.
Yep.
Well, we're doing 60.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we're on uphill at the moment. Or we're
We
level?
are going downhill slightly.
Oh, are we? Oh.
You might want
I'd
to
have been dead
inject a bit, Sam.
I'd have
Oh,
been
you
dead
already are.
impressed. I'd be dead impressed if you were going uphill at 60. Oh, I've just seen the David Seward comment in. Hello, David.
Hi, David.
Hello.
James Ellison's watching these streams makes him think back to the streams he's been in. I think James is getting nostalgic.
Either that or it's a hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
Hey, we'll have none of that bribery business here, Tom.
I mean, that's how I
You
get into
wink-
these things.
Your winks, your hints and your nudges might work on your passengers on the platform, but they don't work on me and Reese.
Oh. Yeah, but I managed to worm my way to be attraction inspector tonight, didn't I?
True that.
I just popped up on the platform like, hey up boys, do you need someone to help? And he was just like, oh god, do we have to? And I was like, yes.
So me engineer 100 said, let's go the onslaught of Llanfairpwll. I can't even say it.
Blah, 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 blah.
Begins. I don't know how many streams that I've done where we've mentioned Llanfairpwll Bank, and I still don't think I've even said it right once.
Probably not.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
No, Mr.
I'm gonna-
Yorkshireman.
Should I just call it a blah, 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 bank? That's it.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
that'll do. That big Welsh show near where Reese lives. Granted, that doesn't narrow it down much, but...
Do you know what? I ran this route the other day to get some screenshots, and all I got was lag. But now, with that faster loading thing, Tom, it works so much smoother.
Brilliant
I might
stuff.
try. What's the route? I downloaded Alan Thompson's merged routes of the East Coast Main Line.
Oh yeah.
And do you know what? This is actually a really clever but sneaky way that he's done it. He hasn't actually, he's uploaded the route, all the merged bits, but he's not giving you anything. All he's giving you is the merged files, because you have to buy the route separately, and he's put it behind a paywall, so you have to pay £32 a year to be a premium member on his website.
That's right, Reece. Just upload it to Mediafire or something, it'll be fine.
So it's like, ooh.
It is a little bit sneaky, breaky.
It is a bit sneaky, but yeah, it's quite clever if you think about it.
The sad thing is about all these things, and it's kind of like what I've said about, I mean, I know it's a weird comparison, but I've said it about newspapers before, which is the problem if people complain about this sort of stuff, but people still buy it.
Yeah,
it's like people have said to me about the price of newspapers going up, which is, I don't buy newspapers, I don't care. But they always go to me, oh yeah, the price is going up, oh, they shouldn't be able to get away with that. I was like, well, you're the ones who keep buying the papers, you're the ones who keep paying the extra price, so if the longer you do that, the more they'll up the prices.
Sam, have you seen the speed?
No,
Oh,
not.
we're going now.
I can't actually tell what speed with it. Is that 87?
87.
Nice.
So I'm pretty much just gunning it down this bank because we're about to hit Llanfairpwll. I can see the Sugarloaf in the distance.
I might actually start deleting some comments, because I'm getting actually kind of sick of seeing the same one coming up.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I ignore the chat.
It's only because I'm I'm like doing my job of monitoring it, and I'm just getting a bit sick of seeing. In fact, I'm just going to say it. Joel Light Railway, stop asking if we can do a stream on random routes. It's not happening. Reece decides where he streams and when he's going to stream.
This is what I was
By
saying
constantly
earlier,
suggesting
Tom.
it, just constantly suggesting it doesn't make it happen. If you want to stream somewhere, go stream it yourself.
Well, the thing is, it's not only asking about streaming routes, it's about streaming routes that don't exist in Train Sim. And
Yeah.
it seems every live stream I do, I have to tell him the same thing, that it doesn't exist in Train Sim, so I can't stream it.
Which is sad, because some routes are actually really nice to have. But yeah, a lot of... And unfortunately, actually, if you look at a map of the British Isles and the railways that used to exist on them, we actually have very little, when you think about it.
Oh,
We've got most
yeah.
of the main line, sure, but some of the byways and branch lines and secondary routes, I mean, Christ, have we even got a decent... We haven't got a decent version of the whole of the Great Central Railway, have we? From, like, the whole London extension. That would be great to have in Steam days. I'd
See,
love
that's
that.
another thing there. If you have a look at the map of what we've got, and if you split it up into sort of steam era, diesel era, and modern era, you'll find that there's even less. Modern era, there's quite a few modern era main lines, but there's not much of anything else really.
Not really.
Okay, this is where I derailed the last time I was here.
Well, be careful then.
We're approaching Abergavenny.
If we derail, it's entirely Reese's fault.
Is it Abergavenny or did we find any?
I got to do a customary whistle for Rhys Jones, who is in Abergavenny. Well, he's actually from Usk, but I think Abergavenny is his closest station. So this is for you, Rhys Jones.
Also, no, it's the nicest little thing actually. I didn't notice this before. I love the fact this route still has semaphore signals. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Very period.
There's around Abergavenny, all the approach signals and the signals in the station itself are all still semaphores.
Amazing.
They're all powered by like modern motors, so they're all electric. But yeah, they're all still semaphore signals. And there was a guy that I knew who worked for Network Rail. He was trying to convince them to give them to the railway in Blanavon when they were done. But
Yeah.
Network Rail basically turned around and said, we have no plans to replace them.
The Harbour
Nice.
Station cat says hello, by the way.
The Harbour Station Cat.
Yep, that is someone's legitimate username.
Right, we're slowing down now because we're on the gradient.
Oh, actually,
So-
you know what? We might actually have to take attention to Mr. Light Railway, by the way. £1,000 if you derail.
Ooh.
Well, if we could like legitimately legally hold him to that, we'd do it in a heartbeat. Because £1,000 would be good for the channel.
It would. Think about
In
how many
kebab-
How many
kebabs they
kebabs you could buy? Yeah.
Right, we have lost quite a bit of speed now, but we are on 1 in 82 gradient for a few miles.
Let's do it.
And conveniently, Reese, the fire mass has just dropped down to about where we want it to be.
Do you know what? I was just looking at the fire mass and thinking, I think we're actually in a perfect position. That
It's
we are.
almost like I planned it.
It's almost like you planned it, Sam.
Bit sus, really, if you ask me.
I see him just that good.
Okay, Harbour Station Cat is really unhappy that we made fun of the username.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, and Anthony is watching. He's watching the live stream as well. He says, "I'm interested to see whether somebody attempts the merge of Welsh Marches and the planned Cotswold line." I can tell you the answer is yes. That will be merged.
Huzzah! You're probably building it off this line, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to build as an extension of this route, basically.
I don't know whether it'll be an extension or if it's. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like standalone, but you can merge it together. There's probably the same way that this one and the South Wales Coastal was merged.
Hmm.
You can merge them if you start them at the same coordinates.
Yeah, it's all to do with the X and Y axis coordinates, isn't it?
It's to do with the tiles and train
yeah.
sim. If the tiles line up with each other, then you can merge it.
See, now what I want to know is if you do merge two routes together, do you then have to like go and re-weld all the track together or reposition it?
Yeah.
I imagine you do,
but
yeah.
not the whole route, just the bit where the join is, unless you get it to line up absolutely spot on,
Yeah.
which you won't. So you've just got to sort of merge the routes, and then where it joins, you've just got to relay the track till it matches.
Yeah, we've actually... Yeah, we're nearly at the summit, Sam. 48 miles an hour.
Amazing.
Alright.
Well,
See, told you she was a good hill climber.
We did have quite an advantage, I suppose, that we were doing 87 miles an hour at the bottom.
Which is over the 75 mile per hour speed limit. We're meant to be obedient though.
Yeah, potato.
Oh well, never mind.
She's a new
How
build.
sad. Yeah, it'll do.
It'll do. She's clicking her way up the hill nicely. Oh, Rhys Jones is watching the live stream. He said this is good going. Did you enjoy the whistle I gave you going through Abergavenny?
I hope he didn't.
Sam is only just injecting now.
I've been topping it up a bit as we've gone along, but
Yeah, I suppose it's better with the way the injectors are. It's better to do little and often injecting, I suppose.
Yeah.
can't really do much else with them. Even if you do like a lot and often, it sticks it in pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So even a lot and often is still little and often.
yeah.
Can you imagine if we could actually, because Nav's Media Productions just mentioned this, can you imagine if we could actually somehow convince someone like Hattons or like, I don't know, Hornby even, to basically do a cathedral like this? To be fair, you can kit bash it. You can kit bash them, but it'd be nice to see if they could do a ready-to-run one.
I would love to see a ready-to-run cathedral.
You could probably commission them if you had the money.
Yeah, but you need a lot. We've already spent a lot of money commissioning there, so you need a lot more money to commission the limited run from them, I think.
Commissioning a double-gauge model is unbelievably expensive.
I mean, it's
I
bad
think-
enough me trying to find anyone who would actually do a model of my train, but
I mean, just think-
I can imagine it's difficult.
I looked at doing a run of Dapple wagons, you know, like, and to be honest, all that was unique about it is the logo on the side, like the name of the mine, because I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to do a production run of them with penny odd colliery on the side.
Alright,
How much do you think they wanted?
about £1,000.
1,500 quid for 400 wagons,
No way!
and then they wanted like a percentage of the sale as well.
You know what you could do? You could just get some. You could just get some transfers and just like water slide them on. That'd probably be a lot cheaper. Just do that. But it would have been nice.
Reese, we've crested the hill, haven't we?
We have.
Huzzah!
We're now going down the other side.
thought it sounded a bit quicker.
There we go.
She handled the hill absolutely no trouble.
Which I'm kind of glad about that, really.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like when we were on the flat, we couldn't really get much above 70.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she didn't lose any speed on the hill, because that kind of makes up for the lack of speed on the flat.
Yeah.
It kind of goes by what I was saying as well, which is I think this design of Loco wouldn't have been built for high-speed running, particularly. I mean, it's capable, but I think it was more, if it had been designed, it would have been more for climbing the banks in the South Devon area.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to be a decent hill climber at the very least.
Well, that was the idea, wasn't it? The idea was that she could handle the South Devon banks unassisted.
Yeah, with like 14 coach trains.
Which is essentially like what the princesses and the coronations were.
Well, yeah, because they were built not to go really, really fast. They were built to be able to climb Shap and Beatuk.
Shap and Beatuk with the heaviest train unassisted.
Yeah.
It was the East Coast ones where there's not really many hills which were designed for speed.
Yeah, but that's kind of boring.
There are a
That's why I
couple
don't like
of
the East
hills
Coast Main Line.
between Berwick and Edinburgh. There are quite a few hills there.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
like
but-
Scotland.
Yeah, and to be fair, the East Coast Main Line compared to the West Coast and the South Devon banks, it's
It's a completely different ball game.
yeah. I mean, you've got the likes of Shap and Beatuk on the West Coast. You've got South Devon banks on the Great Western. On the East Coast, you don't really hit anything until you get a lot further north.
Yeah, it's mostly flat all the way up to like what, York, Newcastle.
Yeah,
I mean, even Stoke Bank isn't exactly like steep, is it?
nah.
God, the steepest bit before then probably just Gatwick Tunnel. That's about it. And then the southern, we had quite a few hills.
Yeah,
We had the Alps. We had Honiton Bank, Parkstone Bank, Haslemere, all that lot. So there were quite a few banks in the southern.
I mean, it
But-
depends what you class as a big hill, really, doesn't it? I mean, for me, a big hill is anything 1 in 100 or steeper for any length of time.
Yeah,
Which, you've got like the Long Drag on the S&C, which is sort of... That's not a particularly steep one, but that gets its reputation from being
It's
a
the length.
continuous one.
yeah, it's a continuous grade. That's
And
where you need
then-
Loco with power rather than speed in mind.
Yeah, and then you've got Shap, which is... I think Shap's the 1 in 60, and then Beatuk's the 1 in 40.
Something
Which
like
are fair old treks up the hill. I think South Devon banks are similar sort of gradients, aren't they?
1 in 42, I think, is Hemerdon.
Yeah. But then, like, on the East Coast, when we do the East Coast mainline runs, it's like the steepest prolonged gradient is, like, what, 1 in 100 coming out of King's Cross?
Something like that.
There's, like, a few 1 in 200s and stuff like that, but there's not really anywhere on the line where you're really challenged.
Oh, balls.
Did you get AWS?
Yeah.
Oh God! Well, that's it. My traction inspection days are over. I'm just going to jump out now.
Just jump out, Tom.
Just jump out onto the track and get hit by HFT. Hopefully, coming in the other direction.
It's because I was sat in the support coach leaning out the window rather than...
Oh,
in
were
the
you
car.
chatting up? Were you chatting up people in the support coach?
I was chatting up Lucy, the tea-girl.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, how's her family?
Yeah, not too bad. Her son's gone to college now.
Oh, has he? Fair enough. Better story than what John all the way back in the guard compartment was telling me earlier on.
know, right?
Apparently, he vomited on a cat.
Well then.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
These
Absolutely. I just
support
said
crews are not what they used to be, are they?
no, they really aren't. To be fair, Reece, I mean, didn't you round half of these people up off the streets of Swansea for this run?
Pretty much. We just went out on the high street and said, "Do you fancy a job for a day?"
Fancy a train journey? Yeah, go on then.
I can't believe I got AWS'd.
I can.
I can totally believe it. It's negligence.
I wouldn't say negligence. I'd say just harmful, playful distraction.
Sheer incompetence.
Alright, that's a bit of an extreme.
64
Ooh.
miles
And you've
with
been AWS hit. Are you on a hill?
3,000 or so gallons.
And you're having to restart on a... I think you're on the incline. I mean, get a line side shot while you're climbing out of here.
Yeah, fire and water's in a good shot.
Yeah,
Good shot, good place.
Good shot.
Good shot, apparently.
Do it for the Basie filled memes. Look at that.
That steam's coming out one than the other as well, isn't
It
it?
is. Chris has changed it from just like
That's,
continuous blasting to independent blasting. It looks a lot better.
that's another new feature with them.
Right, so yeah, sorry about your fire there, Sam.
It's alright, you can deal with it blowing off now.
Hooray! Listen,
Don't waste water, he says, before tripping the AWS.
I know, right? Don't waste water, Sam.
I want a raise.
You can have a raise. I will pay you 60p per hour.
No, he wasn't going to do
Hey,
that.
that's a 60p increase.
Sam, he's going to give you a raise. He's going to raise his hand to you.
Yeah.
Tell you to get stoking.
Get back to work. Oh, there you are. IDK13 has named the cathedral Incompetence Cathedral, twinned with Duchess of Negligence.
Oh god.
And the flying audacity.
There's a user called Felixal Destroyer 101. I can't even say that. But for some reason I thought his name was Felix Pole.
Was that general manager of the Western?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ghost of the Great Western past watching us and despairing.
I know, right? Brunel, William Dean, Charles Collett, Churchwood,
George Jackson Churchwood.
They're all
The whole lot.
they're
Well, I'll all be
this live
watching
stream
going,
and rolling in their coffins.
I imagine probably so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Dean is laughing about the whole situation, perhaps.
Hey, look, another signal.
they'll be
no.
laughing or they'll be crying, it'll be one or the other.
I'd love to think that they're all up there in whatever happens to us all next, and they're all just like literally sitting around in like a coffee shop kind of thing, having a nice drink, smooth jazz in the background, just all talking about what kind of engines they designed and what they would have designed if they'd all worked together and all that lot. I'd love to think that's something that would be happening right now.
But playing on the railway in the sky.
Yeah, God bless them.
See, you say that, I'd quite like to see the comical image of Lamore sat around a table going, right, we're going to build this engine, no, we're going to build this engine. Big wheels, no, little wheels. Double chimney, no chimney.
And then like just somewhere shuffling along in the background is like, I don't know, Douglas L. Marsh just going, I wanted to design a tank engine.
Who was the one who designed the E2?
Oh, that was Billington.
Billington. Just Billington sat in the corner with a dunce hat on his head.
It's funny, really, that. It's
Doesn't
not
make you
watching
wonder,
something
though.
about the E2s.
Yeah, it does make you wonder though, doesn't it? If you stuck them all in a room together and said, build a loco, do you think it would be a brilliant loco or do you think it would be an absolute catastrophe?
I think it would be a complete bodge job.
Yeah.
Depends who can assert their dominance more. I mean, like, who could assert their dominance more as a engineer? It certainly wouldn't have been Peppercorn, because he was quite reserved.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting putting all, loco designers together and seeing what they came up with. Because I think it would be a case of too many chefs spoil the broth.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if you're talking about a situation where they're all in heaven working together, I think they would try one thing and go, do you know what? Why don't we add this to it? I don't know. Why do we add this to it? And just keep going up there.
It just, mad.
I think the very best of all of them, I think they could come up with something quite impressive if they stuck it together.
Like a 410-4 or something like that. Express engine with a a Lempor injector.
Well,
I still think the Cathedral needs a Lempor exhaust. Chris! I want it with a Lempor exhaust for the lols.
I think
Actually,
on British Railways, you wouldn't really want anything bigger than a Pacific for a passenger loco. Maybe a 464, but I think it'd be the technology that went into it rather than the size of it. That'd be the key thing.
Well, imagine if you could design a steam engine brand new, like today, a bit like the 5AT project.
Yeah.
Remember that? That would be an interesting concept. Like, what could the most brilliant designers in thermal efficient technology... I mean, for Christ, you could probably build a steam engine that probably doesn't even need to run on, like, coal or anything. It can run on electric somehow.
Well, I mean,
just
you could,
with water.
the issue with that is then there's no point in having a steam engine if it runs on electric, because you might as well just have an electric engine.
Thinking more about power.
Yeah.
Because remember, thermal energy of steam is actually quite a lot more powerful than electric motors.
Yeah.
If designed properly, of course.
But no, I think it would be interesting. It's something I've said many times. I'd like to see what would happen if you came up with a design and said, right, we want to make a steam engine for the modern age using all the technology we've learnt about steam engines, and see what we came up with. I mean, it's like, there's been a few things for smaller scale stuff. I know that Georgina on the North Bay Railway, that's been built with a fair bit of fancy technology, to the extent where it's got like really good bearings on it, so you can actually just hold the thing and you can like walk it around by hand with relative ease.
Is that like roller bearings?
Yeah. But it's 20-inch gauge, but you can literally hold the handrail and you can pull it or push it along from the handrail without having to massively strain at it. Which is, that's fascinating. And then there's River Esk on the Ravenglass line, which has been recently overhauled, and I think they put a new ejector on that. And they found that when they put this new ejector on it, it was like, whoa. Yeah, so it is possible to do some interesting stuff with it.
Bruce Jones is saying how about nuclear power. See,
yeah?
I think a nuclear-powered steam loco would actually work.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't look like a conventional steam loco. It would look like pretty much like a diesel. But it would have some form of turbine and condensing unit and God knows what.
Well, the thing is, steam engines are very clever design, because the way it's all worked is that it kind of powers itself. Like the draft from the exhaust is designed to draw the fire through, so if you wanted to make anything that didn't run on a fire, you'd have to reconsider the whole design, otherwise you'd be putting an awful lot of strain on whatever you had instead of a boiler.
Yeah.
Because, it's like the whole point is that it makes a vacuum in the front to drag the fire through.
Oh!
But if you weren't using a fire, you wouldn't want that vacuum there.
Sam, I just thought of a way we can get around all of this, right? We're going to design a locomotive that runs on the pure spite of rail enthusiasts.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, it's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be the most powerful loco in the world.
It'll be so hench.
It's going to be pink with wallpaper lining.
Just runs on like armchair fuel.
Oh my god. That's it, we've solved the future of rail transport.
We've solved our power problems, everyone. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Angry Welshman Productions would like to present to you the future of power.
Ooh.
That scared me a bit then, Reese. I'm not gonna lie.
We took a bit of a shimmy there.
Stupid. That's the universe telling us to not do this idea about power.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on, I'm going to drink some more Copperberg and give myself a bigger headache. How's that sound?
Hooray!
I've run out of cola. I've run out of cola and I've run out of mini eggs. The situation is not looking good.
Right, here's what we do, Sam. Right, you stick your mouth in the injector pipe, and we'll inject some water into your stomach. That'll be fine. And then just eat some coal.
Sword.
Yeah.
A meal fit for a king.
Meal fit for a Yorkshireman, am I right?
Hey up.
Back when I was a lad, we used to eat muck.
Eleni
like
after
that,
39 is asked where we are, Reese.
We're not far from Hereford.
I'm trying not to think about where we are, to be honest.
Well, we've almost used another 1,000 gallons of water, Sam.
That's why I'm trying not to think about where we are.
Jeez.
You're...
Well, we know she's a thirsty girl. I imagine, had these things been produced, I think they would have probably been paired with a larger tender, knowing that the water consumption would have been bigger because of the bigger boiler.
Of collet 8
Yeah.
wheel tender that I'm totally not salty about.
Totally not salty, Reece. You sound completely calm and absolutely thrilled about the fact we're not getting an 8-wheel collet tender.
Yeah.
Cough up a bit more dosh and flutter your eyelids at Chris.
I'm sure that won't work.
I'm still paying for 813. Oh, spam queue, spam queue.
That was close.
Oh, God.
Sam would have been gutted if we had to do a stop-start
Sam,
somewhere again.
we gotta slow down.
Are you coming to the stage?
Whoa, there's no we about it, Reece. You're a driver.
Yeah, I suppose I should.
Oh, wait, when was Sam meant to swap over and drive for a bit?
Oh, I'm quite happy on the shovel here. I've got into a routine with it.
Ah, fair enough.
As long as you're sure.
Yeah.
You can drive the next virtual footplate then.
What is the next one anyway?
No idea.
We've got a Cornwall to do at some point, haven't we? But I think we were going to
We were
wait.
waiting for the LNWR coaches, weren't we?
Yeah, we were going to wait. I think we were going to do the LNWR coaches and Cornwall over Shap on the Stainmore line.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Be interesting. I want to do some reskins of Cornwall. I want to do LNWR red and LNWR green. You know, like the early liveries.
What like southern
Southern and Northern.
Southern
yeah.
and Northern division. Could be
Yeah.
interesting. You know, it'd be even more interesting. Looks at Chris. If he did the boiler underneath the axle like the original build, Chris.
Oof.
That'd be fun, Chris.
See, I think I'd like to see Cornwall as a 422. Not as like the original design was, but as the rebuilt version as a 422. Because I like Cornwall, but the fact that there's so much overhang over the front wheel puts me off it.
I mean, I imagine it'd have a lot of what do you call it, instability at high speed.
Yeah, there's just something about it. Engines which generally start with 2 leading wheels without having a pony truck.
It reminds me a little bit like the London North Western freight engines. Like some of them had the massive overhang at the front, and some of the later ones ended up having the pony truck at the front to alleviate some of that overhang.
Yeah.
Just makes you wonder how an engine like can afford to have so much weight over that front axle without something supporting it.
Yeah, you'd think like it'd struggle, wouldn't you?
You'd
think you'd have a lot more wear on it.
Well, if there'd have been more accidents involving engines with heavier front ends, maybe design of locomotives would have gone a slightly different way anyway. Like there would have been much more pressure put on reinforcing the front ends of locomotives and heavier parts of the engine, maybe.
Yeah.
Then again, perfect tank engine, probably a 262 tank, isn't it? When you think about it, then they're not too bad.
It obviously depends what you want it for, but I think a 262 is definitely the most stable design. If you go for like a 264 or something like that, or a 462, you're getting a bit too many wheels for what you want for the size.
Could even better why don't we do an 020 with stability wheels? Or even better, just go one better and do the Lafarge, the Latte monorail or tri-rail. We know what I'm talking about then.
About that Indian thing.
Oh,
with the training wheel, like you said.
Oh yeah.
It's literally just like a one-wheeled steam loco. It's got a big wheel on a stick that sticks out the side of it. It's hilarious.
Kind of reminds me a bit about what do you call it? Like some of the old steam technology built in the 1700s. I think it was Cugnot. I can't remember how you pronounce it. He built a steam wagon, didn't he? And I think it was only powered on one axle, so it would have been like it would have been a front wheel drive loco, but more like if you were going to classify it as a locomotive, it'd be like an 012 or something like that.
Was it Cugnot's road loco?
Yeah,
it was like a steam ratchet. Just worked.
Yeah, I loved looking at, because I watched a video of how that worked, and I loved the way the ratchets worked. That was great. Such a cool looking thing. A bit like those big steam tractors they have in America. They look like steam engines, but just on tractor wheels.
Oh, the Lombard log hauler.
That's it. Yeah, Lombards.
They are hilarious. I'd
Oh,
love to
yeah.
have a go on one of them, the Lombard log hauler.
They're like a
Where
combination
is
of traction engine,
What are you
steam
doing?
engine, and tractor.
50
doing?
miles.
50 miles.
Oh man.
Okie dokie.
3,000 gallons of water.
I think we can manage that.
Yes.
If I fall asleep on the footplate, if I fall asleep, you'll have to chuck me in the fire and hope you get some more pressure.
If not, we could get some ribs.
There's a Morrison's just outside of the station at Hereford. You can pop in and get some sandwiches.
That'll do.
Get me one of them, like packs of cheese, you know, the little cheddar cheese things.
Oh man.
We are stopping here, right?
Yes. I realise I might be going a bit quick.
We are stopping here, right?
Yes. You see, I'm actually short because there's the 10 coach stop sign. So really I am actually short.
I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna go throw something in the microwave.
Righty-hoo.
Right, let's save the game.
Don't forget to take that off again, Reese.
Yeah, I know.
You say you know, but do you know?
No. We actually got people on the platforms this time.
Hey. I love how they do the power walk.
Taking some screenies. Obligational screenshots of the cathedral. But it does look good. He's playing with his whistle. What's happened to one of them coaches? Ah, it's alright. It's just a shadow.
Funny you say that though, because I had to play around with sticking, you know the Royal Scott carriage board fins that I got made up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had to go with sticking them on the AP Mark 1s, and it had an interesting effect.
Right.
It worked on some of them fine with no issue, but on others it made, like, a completely different coach in the consist disappear.
Oh.
So I tried a run with them with a Duchess, and they were like, it was registering that like the coach was still there, but I think it was like the 5th or 6th coach in the line or something. But it was just like there was no model for it there, but it was still physically there.
Oh.
So you couldn't see anything, but it was just like you had the loco, then 5 or 6 carriages, and then a gap, and then the rest of the train. And I have no idea why it did it, but yeah, it were interesting.
Oh, we stopped in the wrong place anyway.
Correction, you stopped in the wrong place.
We're a team. We are a team, and we win as a team, and we fail as a team.
If we run out of water, then you can blame that on me, but stopping, that's your department. And if we do run out of water, I'm going to blame it on you anyway.
Yeah, I knew that would be the case. We ready?
Nope.
Oh,
Reese, Tom's on the platform.
Right, full reg. Let's go. We're leaving Tom at the station. Bye, Tom.
He'll come out of the bog and just look round and go, huh? Where did I park the train?
We're leaving the traction inspector behind. Stop! You've left the guard behind.
The guard should have been here on time.
Right, what's the next station on our list? Lowminster. 1, 2, 3. We only got 4 stops left.
Oh, thank God for that.
Was it half an hour will be our booked ending time. We left at 10 o'clock in game. It's already 12:30. I wanted to just hear the bark as we came out of Hereford.
Yeah, we'll have to, if we get a new king made, we'll have to do this with the King and Bahamas as a tag team thing.
That would be good.
Because, like I said, that page link, it's got the timetable on it and everything. 9-coach train, king to there, and then swap loco over.
That would be good. We could actually set the scenario up that we both run a similar-ish scenario, but on your scenario or on your computer you're running Bahamas, and then on mine I'm running the king, and then we could set it up so that like I drop the train off in the platform and then run round or something, and then you collect your train from the platform, so it's as though we've handed the train over.
We could do, but then it'd be like half the stream doing nothing, and then swapping, and then half the stream doing nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas if we did it on one as a virtual footplate, you wouldn't be able to set your route because you'd need to change the points, but...
Yeah. Unless you set instructions to do something.
Yeah, but I think because you'd have to change loco, it'd be a bit...
Yeah, I don't think Train Sim likes you doing that, does it?
Yeah. I mean, it'd let you change loco if it were just a free roam thing, but if you don't couple locos together, it should be able to do it without issue.
Yeah.
But I think what you'd have to do, you'd have to take the king, and when you get there, you'd have to uncouple with the king, take the king into a siding out of the way, then click on Bahamas, and then go couple onto the train and continue. I think that should work. But I have to wait and see.
I think we might have lost Tom.
Well, we did just leave him on the platform.
Yeah. I think he's given up. It's rough riding over some of these points, isn't it?
Yeah. It has been a little bit concerning at times.
Oh. Flixie Destroyer 101 says you can get Bahamas on Bossman Games, I think. Well, it's funny you mention that.
I started on the... Actually, you know what, now I'm not going to say that on the stream.
No?
No, I'll tell you that after.
Alright.
But yeah, if you have a look in that BPP testing chat thing, I put a link to the document thing in there earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I started on the texturing work for that. Can't believe how many variations there are. Like, it's like something like 5 or 6 for that particular livery. In the space of like 4 years. Yeah, I've dropped a message to some of the BLS guys asking about that, and if they've got any information they can provide to help out.
Yeah.
See what they can come back with, see if they say, yes, that's right, Sam, or no, that's a load of rubbish, we didn't do that.
Oh, it's 10 to 11, Sam.
Yep.
Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the speed limiter sign.
Are we going to ignore that?
Well, we're only at 63. The speed limit's 75, so it's fine.
Ah, right. Yeah, there's a couple of people in the chat saying that I think Lorca should rot around even more than that. It's quite rough in real life, apparently. Reese, I spilt me tea.
Oh dear. Sorry, we got a couple of jugs, haven't we? Yeah, we got
Stop. This is emergency situation.
Oh dear. The emergency brake application required.
We'll go back to that signal box and we'll throw a potato at him.
Yeah. Let them know that we need more tea at the next station.
More tea?
Oh, he's back.
Hey, he's back.
I'm back. I've had a pathway. I've made a burger, so I'm back to find out what shenanigans have been occurring.
He must have run very quickly along the track.
I was going to say, he caught us up, didn't he?
I jumped onto the into the support coach and I was using the oven in there.
Oh, nice.
We thought we'd left you behind on the platform.
Nah, you can't get rid of me that easily.
He's like a virus.
Oh, what sort of virus?
Coronavirus.
Oh.
Where he spreads by coughing.
He spreads by coughing and he surrounds the world in 60 days. I reckon that the coronavirus, actual virus, just watched that film around the world in 80 days and just thought, you know what? That's a cracking idea.
That's a challenge and a half.
That is a challenge I think I'm going to try. Ugh. Oh god. I'm starting to wane now. I've been up since 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly,
Yeah, man.
I'll be up again at 5 o'clock. The little boy, he sleeps really well at night. Like, he goes to bed at 7 o'clock and then he stays asleep until about 5 in the morning. Then some days he'll wake up and he wants to get up. Other days he'll cry for a bit, but then he'll go back to sleep. But you never know what type of day he's having until then.
Oh, bless.
To be fair though, if he sleeps through the night, that's not bad.
No, he's
Could be doing a lot worse.
Out of all the babies that my wife, all the mum friends that she has, he's the only one that sleeps all through the night.
Yeah.
And it's really good. He does. You don't hear a peep out of him during the night.
Yeah, I mean, you might have an early start with him, but at least you have got an uninterrupted night's sleep.
Which, apart from live streaming, I do get a good amount of sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, what's speed limit? 80, 65 coming up. I'm not going to worry because we're only doing 68.
Tell you what, I've got a solution. I've discovered a solution for not having sleepless nights and worrying about this sort of thing, and that is, right, not having a child.
Yeah,
I've tried that. It works.
That is a thing.
The only issue with that is that I have to get up for work at 5 AM. So I still have to get anyway.
Yeah, but I just go to bed early.
So the solution, folks, is don't have kids, don't get a job.
Yeah, there you are.
Don't leave the house.
Live off benefits and live in a council estate.
Sorted!
Job's a good one.
No, you're not having a job, Reese. If you've got a good job,
yeah.
That defeats the point of it.
Unemployment's a good one. There you go. Oh, I didn't like that curve there. That looked a bit sharp.
It was a bit sharp, wasn't it?
That'd be your 65 limit.
That's why. Mr. Traction Inspector letting me go too fast in the 65 zone.
Hey man, I'm having my lunch. I'm on my lunch break.
The famous Great Western chime whistle.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
Bruh.
Best thing about Great Western engines is that you can play on Oakley Moor Bar Tat on them.
Oh, 3.5 miles to Leominster.
We've
40
got about
miles.
40 miles to go, eh?
2,655 gallons of water left.
I think we're going to be alright.
Yeah. I feel like Lightning McQueen going down this hill.
I am
speed.
I am
Meow.
speed.
You know I'm going to have to reskin the cathedral into that now, don't you?
Well, I thought we
Want
just
some
had
Lightning
AWS.
McQueen livery.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Doesn't the support coach for BLS have a cooker and all in it?
Oh yeah, it's basically got all of the facilities of a caravan except for a shower.
No.
It's got toilet and sink. It's got 2 sets of 2 compartments of bunk beds, 2 seating compartments with tables. It's got the actual guards area. You've then got a kitchen area with like an oven, hobs, all that kind of stuff, sink, and then you've got the workshop area, which is like storage of tools and equipment and all that malarkey.
Oh.
So it's really great when you go out on a tour with them, because it's like a proper like home from home.
Yeah. Well,
Which
it's
is
gotta be,
kind of like a point, but
I mean, most people would actually just get a caravan. Not the guys at BLS, they just take a loco and a support coach.
it's the fact that like we've been on tours where we'll make tea in the morning and stick it in slow cooker and have it in slow cooker during the day, and then when you're on the return leg at night, you'll have you'll have your slow cooked dinner ready.
See, now that just sounds fantastic.
Lovely
is.
lives, these support crew people, innit?
Like
It is.
having a beef stew on the boil all day, and then on the run back, just tucking into that on the footplate. That must be incredible.
Bruh.
Well, not necessarily on the footplate, but
Even in the support coach should be epic.
yeah, what they tend to do is they cycle the support staff around, so every time they stop, they'll switch the support crew around, so that everyone gets a chance on the engine and that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what'll happen is one of them will have the tea beforehand, and then at next stop they'll swap round and everyone will have the tea after.
Yeah.
But even so, it's when to get the engine up and ready, you're getting up at like 3 in the morning.
You can't
And
do
then
a whole day.
you're not getting back then till like 11 at night. I think the Settle and Carlisle runs we did from Werfalla, that were like a early day go and then late return. That were about a 3 till 11ish type day. And when you're doing that, you kind of you need like break in the support coach.
Oh yeah, you got to.
And traction inspector, I'm very disappointed that you're not going 90 miles an hour at the moment.
What, on the approach to Ludlow?
Yeah.
Although
You should have been going at least 90 through the platform and then just handbrake turn at the end.
drop both anchors at the very end. I don't know why I put Ludlow in as a stop, to be honest. I thought it was a bigger station than it actually is.
That's Leominster.
Yeah, it is.
It's not Ludlow
See,
then, is
I think-
it?
It's not Ludlow.
I think Ludlow was, if I remember rightly from those images, Ludlow was one that they used as a photo stop when they were doing the return to steam trains.
Oh,
This
right.
is fatigue setting in, by the way, Sam.
think
Reese
so.
is tired and done a long journey. He hasn't had any energy drinks.
Yeah, I'm getting fatigued.
Not had any kebabs
No
or
kebabs. No
time for a
provision.
crew change.
No
Here's an
provision
idea.
has been made for the kebab requirements of the driver.
Send Hannah out to get you some kebab.
She's been in bed for the last hour.
That's all right. Just go wake her up and tell her to go and get your kebab.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. What? Go
Wake
get me a
up.
kebab.
Wake up, woman, he shouted, and listen to this. It's a letter from me. Hannah, listen, Dan. But I can't say anymore. It'll spoil the next kebab.
Do.
Meanwhile, my female companion has still awake, still travelling down from Durham after a long day out.
Oof. So the last time I asked you, she was by York, wasn't she?
I've just texted her to ask whereabouts she is now. I think they left at 5, so I'm imagining they must be somewhere between Winchester and Southampton, I'm hoping.
I imagine they're
Winchester, she off to the pub.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Just go down to Winchester, wait for all
Have
this
a
to
nice
blow.
cold pint and wait for this to all blow over.
Yep.
But
See, that's the real point of this run. We're off to the pub. That's what all the stops are for. It's crew training, but on each one we're picking up a kebab and a pint.
but the pub at the end of it has got a beer garden.
That is an
Lovely.
excellent question.
It'd be great if we ended the stream.
And Shrewsbury.
It'd be great if we got to the end of it and it's like you just like have a like epilogue to this whole journey. It's just that we got to the pub in question. It was closed because it didn't have a beer garden, so we just ended up going to like Star's Pizza or something for kebab.
Yeah, but do the kebab shops have a beer garden?
No, but we can buy some Fosters out of their fridge.
Good eye, mate.
Nah, I'm on my last can of Copperberg now, so I'm going to down that before.
Times, sad times.
My goal is to drink this before the end of the stream and then worry about acquiring some more alcohol with, I don't know, some monetization money from my episodes, I guess. I could use some Patreon money actually to buy some alcohol. I'm sure that they'll all be very pleased to hear that I'm being getting myself hammered over their money. I'm sure they will. They'll be right with that, won't they, Reese?
Yeah. Nothing bad ever happened with spending Patreon money.
Apart from being called out, but that's another story.
I'm calling you out, Thomas Tipton.
Oh, not this again.
Not this
And
shit
it-
again.
Oh, Reese, you just swore again!
Oh god, no.
Ugh, I
See?
literally am stopping. Even though I've had a drink,
That's
I'm still
like-
stopping myself from swearing.
This
That's
is
3 times, Reese. And Tom, I think you're still clean, aren't you?
I'm still quite clean despite
This
being
is-
hammered.
15 quid, well, 3 quid I gotta put in the kitty now.
Except this time we're going to put a twist on it now. We've upped it to £10 a time, so that's 30 quid to me, thanks, so I can go get myself a kebab.
What kind of kebab do you need at 30 quid per kebab?
Frickin' big one, man!
Ah, you just swore.
I said frick.
Yeah,
That's not a swear word.
it is.
It's not a swear word. Don't
You
try and
used
worm
it-
your way out
You
of
used
it.
it in a cursory manner.
No, I did not. Sam, help me out here.
I'm gonna side with Tom on that one, Reese.
Hey!
You backstabbing treacherous.
Don't say it or you're on another 10 quid.
I know, I'll put another 10 quid in. Talking of backstabbing and treachery, Sam's
Oh, God,
going
here we go.
solo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sam doesn't need me anymore.
Reese
Ditching
just
the
hops
dead
off and
weight.
goes to the pub.
Just-
Wait, what did you just say, Tom?
I said, Reese hops off and goes to the pub.
Okay, I'll let you off then.
Why, what did you think I said?
Well, I heard off to the pub, and I heard something behind, something in front of that.
Yeah,
I
Reese.
didn't.
He thought you
It,
swore.
yeah,
Stop trying to get me in trouble, guys. I haven't swore this whole stream.
I know. But
I'm a good little boy. Good little southerner from the south coast.
Goody little two shoes.
Problem is, it's killing me inside not to be able to swear.
But anyway, yeah, Sam is going solo, as in he's going to be live streaming on his own YouTube channel more often.
Ooh.
yeah, well, I figure that.
You
In
need
order
bigger
to-
and better things.
Well, not necessarily. It's just more of a in order to not forget how to use Streamlabs again.
And also
Alright.
because he doesn't need me anymore and he's too big for his boots now.
Aww.
Yeah, that's it. Taking off.
What was it you said on your Facebook page?
Ditching the dead
Ditching
weight.
The dead weight.
Right, if you ever need a co-driver at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to need a co-streamer, Tom, because Sam's...
Oh man, I wasn't talking to you, I was
Sam's
talking to
leaving.
Sam.
Oh, more treachery.
No, I'm joking, I'm asking you, it's fine. I'll do some stuff with you at some point, dude.
No, it's good because, you know, Sam's wanted to do YouTubing for a while, and now that he's got a better laptop, I think
He can
it's
do it.
yeah, it's better to do it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping it'll encourage me to actually work on my projects a bit more rather than just sort of doing them sporadically.
Well, yeah, because you can show them off a bit better on your own channel, can't you?
Yeah,
What did you
I
think
want to
about
try and-
the idea of reskinning?
I quite like it actually. It's, like I said, I'm not sure how practical it'd be because it can literally take me days to do a single file, but I do
Yeah.
like the idea of, you know, sort of going through how I'm doing it.
Well, here's a potential idea for you. If you don't stream it, then make it as a video and then just cut and edit the video together.
Well, I could do it as a video and then I could do like a time lapse of it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Type in.
thinking.
Yeah, you can do that. Just feed up the footage and do a time lapse of how you put a skin together.
And you could put some music to it.
Just make sure you don't show all the bits where you're cursing at the screen because you've loaded it into the game and some file is wrong and it's just gone No.8012. Just don't put in that screaming.
I don't know, I think it'd be good to show the entire creative process and just how much time I actually spend looking at it going, what on earth have I done there? Why is that not right? Why is that bit all glitchy? Why is that texture not right? Why is that texture upside down? Why is that one back to front? Why is that one pink when it was green?
Tell you what, Sam, the thing I learned, and this is a quote from The Simpsons, and I learnt this a long time ago, which is, oh god, I've got to actually try and remember the bloody quote now.
Aha!
Yeah.
No.
£10 in
Oh,
the kitty.
Oh, hang on. Oh no, that's not a swear word, is it?
Yeah.
I'd count it as one.
Oh no!
It's not quite a swear, but it's definitely a curse word.
Timestamp
Oh.
it. 3:04:49. Tom swore.
Oh,
Now Tom's unhappy.
I can't even finish my but I have an excuse. I'm mentally impaired through alcohol. Does that help?
Well,
Drinking on the job, let's, like...
yeah.
Is that even worse?
It's even
Yeah.
worse, mind.
Oh,
So you've gone from a disciplinary offence to a sacking offence.
that's alright. Lob me off the train. It'll be fine.
The next thing, we're going to a full-on court-martialing. That's the next step.
Mint. Oh, that was a quote. The lesson here is never, never try.
Just give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give up. Go home. Bang your wife. It'll be fine.
But yeah, in all seriousness, for anyone who does want to start reskinning, that is absolute solid advice. Just don't.
What?
Just
Give
don't-
up. Yeah, just
don't
give
do it.
up.
It's honestly, it's not worth it. It
You have
just,
to
it
actually-
really isn't.
What's
You
Sam
have to
saying? You
enjoy
pay
it,
him
don't
and
you?
he'll do it for you.
You have to enjoy what you do, and I don't know if I could do it, like as a
You not,
professional thing.
yeah, you not only have to enjoy it, you have to have the time for it.
And
Yeah.
patience.
I mean,
I'm glad
can-
I had a go, like when we did the live stream, but I've had no motivation to go back to it.
yeah, it's easy to churn something out quickly that's not particularly great, but if you want it to actually look good in game and you want it to, you know, have all the right level of detail and everything in, it does take time. And if you don't have the time to sort of binge it while you have the motivation, it ends up being a long drag.
Yeah.
That
It's
can
like-
be a little bit how we feel with video production sometimes.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing really. You've got to have sort of that. You've got to have the motivation and the time to work on it, as well as the skill to actually do it.
Mm.
It's like the Bahamas reskins have taken me. Well, I actually started them in 2018 when Bahamas returned the ticket. So it's now 2021. So it's probably taken me about 2.25 years so far, just gradually chipping away at it. And it's something I like and I want to get it done, but it's like the cab itself has taken me well over a year to do.
Bruh.
And it's so time consuming, and when you spend, you know, like a full weekend and you don't even get one texture file done, it's just so frustrating.
Kind of reminds me when I first got the Bossman Game Black 5 and tried to reskin it immediately into DR Green. It took me about, what, at least a day to get it sorted out, but I got there eventually. But it's
Yeah.
not the most professional job in the world, but I had that. It's the fact I had that determination to do it.
Yeah.
When you've got that burning passion to do something, you can pretty much put your mind to it and get it done. It's like recently, I mean, like we're in this stream now talking about, well, we haven't really talked much about the Cathedral for a bit because we've been bombing along pretty well. But I've got all my stuff ready for scheduling it ready to go out whenever it needs to go out, and that's just because I'm passionate about putting things together and hoping to make a good impression, especially with something that I've put money into, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's just like with anything, it's like, I mean, look at the amount of time it's going to take for Reese to do Over the Hills and do it justice. It might take a long while, but if Reese has the passion to do it, I'm sure that he can sit down and get her done, you know.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It's one of those things with Over the Hills, I think, where the more we've sort of discussed it and thought about it, the more we've added to it, and it's sort of grown from the point where what it was going to be into something which it's just going to be such an absolute colossal undertaking.
It's funny, really, because I've said this before to some people, and I've often wondered why you guys don't just turn around and make it like a documentary rather than being focused on the engines. Just make it a proper series of documentary style, like, things. And sometimes I actually wonder whether that would be better without faces, actually. Do wonder.
I mean, I have
crossed my mind sometimes.
I have thought about doing, the history of the line as a documentary.
As a little documentary series, yeah, that'd be good.
Balls.
It's kind of the direction it's gone in a way. I mean, it's not quite documentary style, but it is very much telling a historical story now, rather than just la-di-da playing trains type thing. It's
another station we didn't really need to stop at.
Yeah. But yeah, it has kind of evolved to the point where it's now telling the story of preservation as a whole through the use of a fictional line, rather than just being a fictional story.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the amount of real world stuff we've looked at where we've found images or articles and we've gone, oh, that's interesting, we'll add that in. It's just crazy.
Reese?
Yeah?
Hold control, press space, and then let go of both of them. Should stop the whistle smoke coming out.
Got it.
There you go.
I think we're going to get an outside view when we leave.
Do it. Do it.
I was hoping to make it slip.
I don't think I made it slip. Oh no, I have made it slip when I was in the snow. Oh, hello. You got it to slip without snow. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well done, my boy. Well done, Sponge Boy Me Bob. How far left we got to get till Shrewsbury?
Too far.
Craven
Miles
Arms.
away.
How many miles is it? Craven Arms is 7.5. Shrewsbury 27.
27.
Oh my giddy arm.
It's quarter past 11. 11. It's going to be at least another half an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a midnight end.
Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
True facts.
Could have taken a Duchess and done both.
Right then, we're off. Anthony says the canton makes it look like the Loco's just going to fall over on its side.
Yeah, It's a weird thing, canting, isn't it?
Sometimes I think it is a bit too much, but then other times it is right, but it just doesn't
It
look
depends
right.
on the speed, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like, it might look like it's going to topple over, yeah, but if it's going at the speed it's supposed to for that canting, then it'll work.
yeah. Well, the thing is, canting was also put in on lines with the very low speed limit, which is
Yeah.
quite unusual. You know, on the Pontypool and Burnavon Railway, speed limit on the one section is 20 miles an hour, but there's canting there, and you think, what? Why?
It depends on how sharp the curve is, I suppose, but
Yeah.
if it's a sharp curve at a low speed, then you can put the cant on it and it'll help get round it.
Yeah. Joe Light Railway says the Heart of Wales line joins here somewhere. I think it's Craven's Arms, actually, where that line joins on. Would like to see more Welsh routes in Train Sim. I'm quite surprised that with the South Wales coastal that they never made the Vale of Glamorgan line, which runs from, you know, like Barry and Roos along the seafront and then up to Cardiff.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think you've done too bad for Welsh lines in Train Sim.
Well, there's a few actually, isn't there? There's
You've got the North Wales coast, you've got Welsh Marches, you've got South Wales coast, you've got sort of the main lines covered there. Cambrian coast would be nice.
Cambrian coast would be amazing. Festiniog and Welsh Highland has been done.
Yeah.
What was it, the Barry Railway, which Ben
Yep.
Salt has done. Then there's the Clydach Gorge Railway, which is actually quite a decent run.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Lismardy.
Yeah, the industrial Mardy one. Isn't North Wales Coastal discontinued? Yeah, it is. It's because of the Arriva Trains Wales branding issues. So I think they will release them, but they will be unbranded.
What's going to be on brand site?
Was it North Wales Coastal?
Oh yeah, that would be good to have back then.
But
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it, but they have to do the unbranded version.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, there is also a line to Festiniog from Llandudno Junction,
Oh yeah, that's right.
which Backdated Train Sim did,
Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
which, it's a good run, that.
We still need to do that from Llandudno to Blaenau Festiniog, don't we, with the coal tank,
Yeah.
which will be a horrible run.
Yep. Well, it'll be fine until we get to, Betsycoed.
Better Coed, yeah.
Betsycoed, yeah, from there on, it's fairly flat up to there, but from there onwards it's just hill,
Yeah.
and it's a big hill.
Josh B says, I thought it was discontinued due to the Virgin Trains franchise. No, I'm pretty sure it's Arriva Trains, because they're not allowed to use the Arriva Trains Wales logos anymore.
I thought it was Virgin as well, but I think Virgin's been in a few things.
Oh, is it?
I
I
think-
thought it was Virgin because the Virgin Class 47s were taken off, weren't they?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
As well.
but I think it could be both, because South Wales Coastal doesn't have, that doesn't have Virgin stuff, does it?
No, that was
No.
because of Transport for Wales, I think, and Arriva Trains.
Arriva Trains, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Transport for Wales would be a problem. I tell you what does look good on the Welsh Marches line is the ex East Coast Main Line 67s and DVT trains.
Ooh.
They've been repurposed. They were all withdrawn from the East Coast Main Line, but they've been put back into use in Wales.
Okay. That's good.
They do look quite interesting.
Giving Wales all a second-hand stock.
Yeah. Hooray for Wales.
Yeah, but they can use that stock to their advantage. It's better than it going to the scrappies, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We've got 3 miles to Craven's Arms.
Did Craven have big arms?
He does.
Jeez.
Do you know what I'd like to see in Train Sim?
More trains?
More trains. And hit the nail on the head.
Craven with big arms.
Yes. Massive arm Craven.
Massive arm Craven.
I would like to see...
So, for any modellers out there that fancy making massive arm Craven...
Oh, Anthony just explained it about the Virgin branding from the Pendili. Oh, right, okay. The Arriva train stuff happened later. Okay. I would like to see the Isle of Wight railway network built as it was in the Steam Age, like the full thing, full island network.
Mate.
Someone's done that somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, David Aymer did something, but I don't think it was the full network. I think he did part of it.
I'm sure I've got the full network on my train sim somewhere.
I'll have to have another look. Because I'd like to have a look at it, if that's the case.
Yeah, I've no idea where I picked it up from. I think it's quite an old one that uses a lot of freeware. That's not particularly great quality, but I'm sure I have the route somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember taking the Terriers out on it when they came out.
Bluebell, it's already out. It's actually a really nice route, that. The only problem with it is, it's the same problem with any preserved railway, is that there's only limited what you can do. I have to be I have to be in the right frame of mind to run on a preserved railway in train sim. Because sometimes I just want to open the reg and thrash an engine. I don't want to.
That's why I like. Yeah, that's why I like the Worth Valley.
Yeah, because you can open the reg and you just
you
chug
can't.
it on.
Yeah, you can't quite thrash it the same as you can on a main line, but you can keep the reg open all the way. Yeah, it's not one where you have to... If you get the settings right on it, you can set it and leave it and let it run the whole line without touching it.
Yeah.
Rather than having to constantly stop and start.
Craven Arms, Sam.
Craven Arms, last stop.
It's 20 past 11 at night. Oof.
Okay, Tracy is 2 hours away still.
Gee. I don't envy them.
I don't either. I hope they're going to be alright. 2 hours away from here, is still north of Winchester then.
That's like Oxford, isn't it?
Yeah, somewhere like that. They must have been really nursing it on the way back.
I'll tell you what's going to be a good run, Reese. The full Great Western Main Line with this.
Oh.
Oh my god, no.
That's going to be an absolutely mental run.
You two are freaking mad, lads, if you do that.
I'm up for it.
I am.
Well, the engine has stopped blowing off at last. No, there it is.
I did last long.
Now, normally Craven Arms is where they stop for water, I think. But then, of course, they don't terminate at Shrewsbury. It's where the was the Yorkshire Fusilier the other day that ran to South Wales. She took on water there and then went down the Heart of Wales line.
Is that the one that goes along the coastline?
No, it's like Central Wales.
I'm taking a mick.
Oh.
Because it's called Heart of Wales, and I was like, oh, it goes along the coast then.
Ah, you're making it funny. My brain is too fatigued.
Don't worry, man, I'm hammered. That's why I'm eating microwave burgers at like 11 at night.
Nice.
So, Tom is drunk, me and Reese are tired.
Yeah.
We are an excellent footplate crew.
I know, what could possibly go wrong?
We should be hearing from Network Rail anytime soon and West Coast Railway Company.
RAIP.
Getting us P45s.
Well, we got 1,822 gallons, lads.
Ah, that's plenty.
That'll be alright.
Yeah, it should be fine. Since we're not taking on water, we'll just head off.
Might as well. We're getting this run over with, it's getting late.
Did you open the reg, Sam?
Maybe.
I think you did. Fireman is become self-aware.
Fireman has decided driver's taking too long.
Yeah, sorry.
Knocked you down, knocked you down. Sparks bad, sparks bad.
Knocked you a million.
Reese.
I knocked
There we
you
go.
down. You just keep to your side of the cab, please, Sam. We'll draw a line down the middle of the cab, and you stay on that side, and I'll stay on mine.
I'm used to LMS, this is my side of the cab.
Yeah, fine.
He has a point.
He has a point.
I always find it weird how the Western did drive on this side of the cab.
I think Midland did as well.
For a while they did, yeah.
Like Midland, not LMS.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing about 4Fs that are preserved. 43924 is the only Midland one, the others are LMS built, and they are identical except for
Which
the LMS. Yeah, the LMS ones are like a mirror image. Split straight down the middle.
I wonder why the Midland chose that then.
Why did the Great Western choose it?
But
Exactly.
I actually have no idea.
Wasn't it something about, story I heard, probably not true, but about Dawlish seawall,
Oh, so the
and it was
driver
so like the
wet.
driver didn't, yeah, the driver didn't get as wet front spray.
But then coming the other way, he'd be in
Line of fire,
in
then.
the line of fire. But I suppose the idea is he's a little bit further back from the seawall.
Yeah.
That kind of dumb.
Although, as far as I've seen, they get just as wet anyway.
See, if the Great Western really cared like, they'd have built locos with cabs.
This is.
Yeah,
You've
but
got a point.
That implies that they cared about the crew.
It is something to do with signalling as well.
Could be.
Excuse me.
Tell you what, if anyone in the chat knows then, give us a shout, let us know. Why did some companies go for left-hand drive, why did others go for right-hand drive?
Oh, we're climbing a hill now.
Uh-oh.
She's still accelerated up a hill, mind.
That's what I said, she's a good hill climber.
She is a good hill climber.
Take up the
Very
kids, funny.
She's really sure-footed. See,
Or wheeled.
18.4 miles, Sam.
So I've got approximately 100 gallons a mile.
Yeah,
More than enough.
which is a lot.
I reckon I could use that.
You probably could, but let's try and get there.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah. Want to at least try and finish it.
You don't want to, like, run out of water a mile away, or just at the end of the platform and it
I don't really
has
want
a wally and goes, get lost.
Do you remember the race we did where I arrived at Carlisle, and as I was approaching the station, the engine just leaped off the track?
Like the one when we did the singles race and I got to York, and it were going over the crossovers into the station, and the points changed under me.
Oh, that was bad. That I really felt your pain. Oh, shut
Like-
off the injector! Shut off the injector!
I just turned the other one on then.
Just
Hey, I tell you what, that's good for showing the effects of the steam coming out of alternative sides there.
I'm just saving because my computer did something funny then, just in case I end up dying. 80 mile an hour speed limit. Not that we're going anywhere close to that. Well, we're on the final stretch, lads.
Woo!
It's been a nice long run.
It has been a long run.
It's one of those lines where you don't quite realise how long it actually is, especially when you go from Swansea rather than just going from Newport.
Yeah. I mean, it was an hour and a half into the stream before we were at Newport, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it would take quite that long.
Mind you, it's the one where when I took the harness on this one, I thought, oh yeah, I'll be fine, and then it got to the hill and it was like, nope.
No, that was coming from Bristol, I think.
Well, like coming from Bristol.
Yeah, it was on the climb out of Bristol towards the Severn Tunnel, which is just an insane gradient.
Yeah. Joe Light Railway, it is a 3 or 4 hour journey. We started this at 8, we are 3.5 hours into it now. In fact, what time is it in game? It is 13:16. We set off at 10 o'clock in game.
Yeah.
So we're like 3 hours 15 minutes in.
Take the cathedral on the glorious Devon route. That's for the end of the month, that is. We're going to be doing a race. And then the cathedral will be released a day or so later. We're still on a gradient and she's been picking up speed the whole way. Oh. I'm being asked if Stephanie's now a cathedral.
Let's put it this way, if you can think of a loco, then that's Stephanie.
Yeah.
If it exists in Train Sim, it could be Stephanie.
.6 miles. Oh my god, you're at 1600 gallons. You are not far out. You're probably using about 80 gallons a mile.
Yeah.
Easily.
I told you I reckoned I could get it there.
I tell you what, if we weren't stopping at Shrewsbury, we'd certainly be taking on water at Shrewsbury.
Yep.
Rhys Arnold just posted a comment. He said the plot twist, Stephanie's not actually a loco, it's a human character.
Ooh.
That would be
Stephanie's actually the name of the building.
Which building?
Any building.
Llandaff Station.
Llandaff Station 1 week, Blanberris the other.
She gets a bit of it.
Aye aye.
Strips her stuff. Another plot twist, she's actually a U-boat.
You know, that could work.
Well, at the very end of the series, the U-boat surfaces just on the estuary outside the station. She goes,
well, I mean,
you're not
without
gonna introduce me into this series yet.
Well, without giving away any spoilers or anything, Stephanie could very well work as a U-boat.
I think so. Complete with the face in the gun.
Stephanie's better one for you. Stephanie's going to be the drivable Lion King from UKTS.
Oh god.
Well,
Stephanie is drivable Simba.
Well, at some point I'm gonna have to sort out all this Tomy track that I've bought. So I might have, completely in character to what you guys know about me is I may have gone overboard.
How overboard is overboard, Reese?
Well, you buy a train set and it's got like a loco or two and a couple of wagons and a big ring of track with some points and sidings and a bridge and stuff like that.
Reese, you know when you see the adverts for these like kids train sets and like the pictures on the boxes and stuff like that, is that what yours looks like now? Or does yours put those to shame?
It will put those to the shame. Basically, I went from having one plastic box filled with Toby Train stuff to 3.5.
Jeez.
But that's because people are giving it away. Like,
Yeah.
I went on Facebook Marketplace and there was a person in Cardiff who was just giving their collection away. And I mean, it must have been like £500 or £600 worth of stuff back in the day, you know, when it was all brand new. They wanted 20 quid for the lot. And I mean, not all of it is usable. I've had to throw quite a bit of it away because there was bits of it that were broken and stuff like that. But other than that, it's all in the box ready to be used. And I bought loads of pieces of track off eBay. People are giving it away. So it's going to be mad, the layout I'm going to be able to build.
So, is this for you, Reese, or is this for your kid?
I've now been accused of it being for me.
You've been accused of it,
I
but
think it is for you, secretly.
No, my family have said the same thing. It's actually for me, isn't it? It's like, yeah, but it's also for my son.
see, he says that, but what will happen is his son will try touching it and he'll be like, "Get
No.
away, kid! It's mine! Get away!" Reese, you'll be a fat controller.
Hey, I just need a waistcoat.
Wow, that fat shaming him on camera.
I know, right?
Jeez.
I've just been fat shamed. I'm doing it. I'm getting a top hat. I'm getting a suit.
You gotta get.
waistcoat.
You nearly swore again.
You'll
No,
be.
I didn't.
You'll be able to compete with Chris then with the fancy suit pictures.
Oh, I know, right?
And his fancy pants club band.
But it is gonna be wicked. But like some of these sets, they include a turntable, a train washer, engine shed. Oh, there was the one Thomas set that I bought. It's had 3 engine sheds, so I think I've got about 7 or 8 engine sheds now. I have 3 turntables, 4 level crossings, about 400 points, about 1 million miles of track. It's yeah, and all the wagons as well. Oh my god. I've got so many wagons. And I mean, I would, if I could buy more rolling stock, I probably would. Because people are selling every now and then, like the Thomas characters. I still need to buy Edward, Gordon and Percy to complete the collection.
You're going to make an accurate to scale model of the island of Sodor.
Hell yeah. Certainly on my patio out in the garden, we're going to have a station at one end, station at the other, and a station somewhere else. And then I'll just say to my son, right, you've got some obstacles to overcome. So I'm going to put like a little river down or some bits of rubbish that he's got to figure out a way to get track over it.
You've got to stop in the station, don't overrun it.
Yeah, don't overshoot the platform. But the thing is, like, I've bought all the extra bits, like there's pieces of track with stop things on it. There's
You need to
little
notch back a bit,
signals.
we're hemorrhaging steam.
Alright. Signals, all those things. And run round loops, passing loops, sidings, buffers. It is a
Nice.
full-on. It's going to be a full-on proper railway.
Made out of Tony track.
Yeah.
Bro, that is so Raven.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get it out.
This is very much you showing your age here, Reese, isn't it?
I know it's a 30-year-old toy, but you know what? All the plastic
Also,
is still good.
Just pointing out as well, saying you want to get it out is not generally considered acceptable
Yes,
for a
that's
stream
why-
where we're
that's
trying
why
to
I
be
laughed.
PG.
Yeah, that's why I chuckled. I was like, oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, well, it wasn't weird until you guys made it weird. So I blame you two for that.
Wow.
We were the ones that
Sam,
said we wanted to get it out on stream, Reese.
Yeah.
This is true. I mean,
Toby track.
I did. You want to get your Tommy track out on stream for the lads, do you, Riz?
Yeah. I'll get it out.
Cheeky breaky. Let's get freaky.
But the other day I set up a track and it went from the kitchen through the hallway into the living room and back.
Oh my.
But at that time, I didn't have enough track pieces, but now I can make it a double track main line. It's going to have bi-directional signalling. It's going to be awesome. Passing loops.
You're gonna be one of those people you see on like random like Facebook media post things. Meet the Welsh man who has a whole railway in his house.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for.
Meet the wacky Welshman that collects 30-year-old children's railway toys.
It's going to be awesome. But yeah, it is old, but the thing is, it was made at a time when toys were made properly. Like,
Yeah.
all the plastic is still good. A lot of it is still, it looks brand new. All the trains,
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
I've had some of them in pieces to, you know, look at all the motors and the cogs and everything, and apart from just a little bit of putting things back in the right place, it's still perfect.
Yeah.
You know, all the metal is still perfectly stainlessly shiny. There's nothing rusty. And you know, modern toys within 5 years they'd be covered in rust.
Yeah, cheap steel, isn't it?
Yeah, this stuff is all. It was made at a time when things were made properly, so that's why it's lasted the test of time. And I think for the next 10 years, until my son outgrows it, it's got more life left in it. You know.
Yeah.
And you never know. Maybe in a few years' time, I'll turn around and say perhaps it has reached its the end of its life now. But maybe not. You never know.
For everyone watching, that was me that just saved it, Len, just on account of the fact that I'm not entirely convinced Reese is paying suitable attention.
I am. We got 5 miles left to run. And it's an 80-mile-an-hour speed limit.
And look, I've still got more than 1,000 gallons left.
I'm quite impressed, actually. I thought we were going to run out of water at one point. Great Central Railway in your living room.
Good firing, isn't it?
You know, I probably have got enough station pieces to make like a proper railway network. I'm determined to make London Paddington, but in Tommy track.
What you are doing, Reese, is you are living the dream of every 90s and 2000s railway enthusiast kid.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I got 3 turntables. If I got another turntable, I could actually build Old Oak Common Shed with its 4 turntables. Yes, I am sleep deprived.
I want to see the structural plans for this, Reese.
Oh well, I've got some. I sent them to dem sites.
No. Not of the actual Old Oak Common. I want to see your structural plans of how you're going to make it with your Termi track.
I'll just wing it.
Yeah, but how do you know it's going to be accurate and to scale?
To scale, it won't be, but to accurate, it'll be alright.
It'll be right. Whenever anyone says it'll be right or it'll be alright, what they actually mean is it will not be alright, but I can't be bothered to fix it.
Pretty much, yeah. The thing is, at the moment, because my little boy is quite... he doesn't really concentrate on anything yet. He's still at the stage where he sees a toy and he just like picks it up and throws it across the room. Or, you know, he's not...
Hang on, Reese. Aren't you still at that stage?
Pretty much. I never grew out of it. But, you know, he's still a toddler, so when he gets a little bit bigger, he'll actually engage with it a bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are.
What you need to do is you need to take him to the railway and get him stacking cans in the fridge.
Yeah, that's it. How old were you when you started doing that?
2.
2. Well, he's 18 months now, so he's not far away.
Yep.
Are you braking?
No.
You were braking.
Nope.
Lies. Slander.
Ellen Earl, I'm on.
We're just approaching the 30-mile-an-hour zone. We're in
Lovely
Shrewsbury.
jubbly. I think I can shut them dampers now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to need much steam generation now. Not 6,475 bits of it.
Yeah, and I think we've drained the boiler of pressure enough that we hopefully aren't going to be start blowing off edges.
Pretty sure we're going to be leaning out this side. How's your Copperbergs, Tom?
I'm out.
Oh, you're out?
I'm on Pepsi now.
Oh, God.
I'm looking forward to the stream ending in a way because I'm really fucking tired now.
Yeah.
Oh, just swore no!
Oh, mate, you literally reached 3 hours 43 minutes in.
Oh, no!
Why this, Tom? Why this?
Yeah, I got distracted by opening a bottle of Coke. No, I haven't spoken for the last 20 minutes and I've ruined everything.
To be fair, look, we are now at a total of what, six swear/curse words for the whole stream, which is not actually that bad going really for nearly a 4-hour stream. To say we're all knackered.
Yeah, man.
I think that's enough to still be PG.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
I hope so.
AWP290's just donated $1. Thank you very much, sir. Very kind. That's an extra big kebab for me.
No, that's $1 for to get a Costa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Clearly, we're so shattered that we need at least a Costa or a Starbucks.
I don't. I'm just, once the stream ends, I'm going straight to bed.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do.
Oh,
I'm already there.
There's the absolutely insanely enormous signal box at Shrewsbury.
Ah, yes, that's
The big box.
the one that's getting a new lease of life on the Pennine Valley Railway.
It is.
Oh, what, you stealing it?
Yes.
Nice.
We really need to go back and do more route building on that route.
I would love to see this signal box, if it ever does, get closed down and put out of use, that they turn it into a visitor centre or something.
More than likely.
It's a good place for it.
Because you could have car park in the yard somewhere, and then you could just leave all the glass and let people wander around inside the signal box, but obviously the frames won't control anything. Just let them have a play with all the frames.
Just snip all the wires.
Even better, why don't we take the whole building?
Set it on fire.
No. Take the whole building, brick by brick, move it somewhere really, really, really accessible, turn it into a proper signal museum.
Yeah.
Why would you
Even
have to
better,
take it somewhere? Just leave it where it is.
What if the land gets redeveloped?
Well, that's the thing. I think it would be a good signal museum where it is, though.
I think we should just take it to, I don't know, let's think of a good railway.
Severn Valley.
Oh, you've got another... Yeah, Severn Valley will do. We've got a super chat, by the way, but I'm so tired that I can't read it.
Josh B donates £5, says, thank you for the stream, guys. Great to see the cathedral go for a decent sprint. Thank you very much, sir. You're very kind. Well, we're just pulling into Shrewsbury. The last time we were here, Sam was driving the Victory Works Manors.
Well, you were.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You weren't doing it there.
I think you should mind your manners.
I was driving Bahamas and it took me hours to get here.
Oh, that's right, because you're doing like half a mile an hour up that big
I made it.
Eventually.
Slow and steady wins the race. Also, that's a red signal.
You might want to stop for that.
Sorry, I just got spatted. There we go. Well, you can't say I didn't park under the signal.
You're still in the platform, so
you're
you're
still
good.
in the platform, so it's one of them.
Well, there we are.
Traction inspector said we're good, so we're good.
Yeah.
Traction inspector is absolutely hammered and really tired, so I don't really care what we do at this point. You can set the train on fire if you really, really want to, but
we've kind of done that already. It's a part of being a steam train.
oh ha ha ha! I'm going to go get into the bunk in the support coach. Can someone just pull me somewhere?
Yeah, we'll just take you to Doncaster.
What, and leave... Oh, actually, no, Doncaster wouldn't be so bad, because then I can go and look at the Avro Vulcan.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
My dad's name's under that now, by the way.
Nice. Which Air Force base is it?
Can't remember.
Oh, it was on
I
the
know
tip
it's
of my
Doncaster
tongue.
way.
It's like...
Spud 607 says J-Laws wants you to crash. He's super chatted that.
Well,
J-Laws
it's
wants
real...
you to crash.
Yeah, real shame that, innit? I mean, like, we're at the end of the stream now. No, I just don't do it. Just be defiant, Reese. Be defiant.
See, crashing is all well and good, but it's not funny when we crash deliberately.
Especially after such a long run as well.
Yeah, it's like it's an achievement to get this, especially with the whole teamwork thing, because in many ways it does make it harder.
And it makes it more satisfying to reach the end.
It does.
What I'm very impressed with you guys is, very impressed with you guys. You both passed out to run this route again. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again with a really slow engine this time.
Hooray! 8
No, we bloody ain't. Anyway.
Reese, core tank.
Yeah, we'll do it with the coal tank.
Same consist, just core tank.
11 coaches.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she can hack it.
It's going to take like 4 years. Anyway,
Anyway.
we will leave you all with a parting shot.
Denial.
We'll leave you with a parting shot of the Cathedral class leaving Shrewsbury. So,
You might not be able to do that.
why?
Look at your point work ahead of you.
Yeah, it's set to go. I set the destination as one of the things.
Good boy. Okay, good.
It's cool. I already thought ahead
Why was the signal at red?
because I don't know.
Because I'm a splendid signal. Red for everything. You've never seen me turn green. Anyway.
On that note, thank you very much everybody for watching. This has been the Great Western Cathedral class, which is what a gorgeous machine she is. I am so
It is a
impressed.
nice one. It is a nice one.
She is cool. And she
She
performed
is.
very well tonight.
She did. She handled the Llanfairpwll bank quite nicely. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us for a virtual footplate. I've been joined tonight by Sam of Blastpipe Productions. And Sam,
Yeah?
what are you doing? You just went to the menu. And I've just been spatted. Was that you? You spatted me, didn't you?
I didn't trust the points.
Okay, they are actually against us.
It's a good job, isn't it?
Oh, good job I said that. As traction inspector, I think you should have listened to me.
I set the route though.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you set the route.
No, I set the final destination to be like further up ahead.
Yeah, but if it had worked, the signal would have been green, not red.
Potato. I've learned.
Well, we did. We look. The important thing is Sam that prevented a nasty accident.
He did.
Again.
I need to be taken off the cab and drug and alcohol checked, I think.
Well, we'll go and get hammered at the local pub then, Race. You coming with, Sam?
Yeah, why not?
Right, let's end it there then, boys.
Yeah.
Let's just ditch the loco there.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's someone else's problem now.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it with the reg wide open through the roof. Might need to put her in gear. That might help.
Put it in gear, you say?
Sam's messing.
Just don't F4, it'll be fine.
It's Sam that's doing this, guys, not me. He's messing with my brain. Right, on that bombshell, I'm going to leave it there. Remember to rate, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. I've also been joined by Tom of DarkDJProductions.
Yo.
And we will see you again for the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.